Donovan,
Hi.
are you ready to talk straight narratives?
This is all I ever wanted.
Mo,
This is all I ever want to do.
are you ready to yap for 2.5 hours about straight storylines?
Honestly, storylines is all I watch the NBA for. Who cares about the X's and O's? Who cares about winning? It's all about the gossip, the drama. This is my reality TV.
And you know what? For anybody watching that feels that way, and that every time I say weak side help defense, every time I say Spain pick and roll, they cringe, this is the episode for you. Today we're talking about the 10 biggest storylines that are going to shape the 2025 NBA season. So straight big picture, straight TV, straight just the fiction we follow in this league.
Oh, this is great. This is great. I'm so excited.
Bad Girls Club NBA edition. Let's get to it.
So let's get into it.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like and subscribe. From audio platforms, 5 stars, leave a review, check out the merch, check out all of our socials, all that. And yeah, man, let's talk about the biggest storylines of the season. We're going to go one by one, picking what we think should be on this list, and kind of build out a top 10 by all, going through what's on our minds. Mm-hmm. Mo, you go first. I feel like I always go Donovan first. You can have the honor of starting us off today.
Okay. So let's start off with the most non-important storyline, but also super interesting. I don't know why, but I've been thinking about Scoot Henderson so much as of late and how much he just seemingly has not mattered since he's been drafted.
Wow.
Like no one cares whatsoever.
I think the fact that I said, what's the number one most exciting storyline of the year you want to start with? And you were like, how about the guy that doesn't fucking matter? That's just hilarious. Like, that's just like, I did not understand the assignment.
Let's just get it out of the way. Let's get it out of my system. It's muck. It's disgustingness.
Okay, well, why do you view Scoot Henderson as a top 10 story? What makes it so interesting to you?
Scoot Henderson is a top 10 story for me in my mind because of how much he pivots and how he's like the pendulum to the Portland Trailblazers and how their future goes. They have like a plethora of guards, 2 other guards who play the exact same position as him. Anthony Simon's a little bit more versatile or whatever. But he has the highest ceiling out of the 3, but he's clearly the worst out of the 3 right now due to where he's at. And he's so far just a rookie. So many rookies have been a disappointment throughout their first season in the NBA. So right now, the Portland Trailblazers are in the phase of the rebuild to where they don't know what's going on. They don't know who are the guys. They don't know who they should be prioritizing or building right now. They're just putting things, throwing shit out on the wall, quite literally, as they should be right now. And Scoot Henderson should be the one giving the direction. And if he has not a bounce back season, but elevates this year, then I think that changes a lot. He gets thrown into the already super deep, long list of talented young point guards in the NBA. But if not, then it'll just be one of the more disappointing stories in the NBA.
Yeah, this is interesting. NBA media and NBA fans in general, I'll say, not even just from the media perspective, are just the most fickle guys in the world. If you're a star and you come in with high pedigree, like a Scoot Henderson, and you're expected to be a superstar, people are saying maybe Victor Wembanyama shouldn't be a lock for the first pick in the draft. Maybe it's a conversation because Scoot Henderson might be new age Russell Westbrook or whatever. If you start your career and you don't immediately wow and you don't get yourself in some highlights on making these big plays, fans are going to forget about you, especially if you play in a city like Portland. You're just not going to be on top of mind, and you're going to completely exit the just mind space of NBA fans. And yeah, that's kind of where Scoot is at right now. And this year 2 is definitely obviously it's a vital season for him, right? It's year 2. But if he's going to be a star and have that mind space back, he has to prove that in the first 40 games, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, honestly, what's kind of crazy is that, like, Nikhil pulled up this highlight tape. Nikhil, can you hover over this highlight tape just so that I know exactly if I'm right? Yeah. We're looking at a Zion Williamson versus Scoot Henderson duel. And the video is less than 2.5 minutes long. Like, we have to see something from Scoot Henderson. We have to be able to have more than 2.5 minute long highlight tapes in a single game. And I think that like Mo's absolutely right that in a Western Conference where basically like 13 out of the 15 teams are trying to win, you don't really see tanking teams. But obviously, whatever the Blazers can get out of Scoot Henderson is going to matter insanely for next season because Cooper Flagg's coming into the draft next year. And so like on one level, where are the Blazers going in the future? That matters a lot. 2, is Scoot going to be good enough / bad enough to where the Blazers are once again going to have like the absolute best odds to get the first pick and to get Cooper Flagg? Or can those things be combined? And can Scoot Henderson progress as a player and the Blazers suck enough to where they still get the first pick, and then now you have a duo going forward of Scoot Henderson and Cooper Flagg. Like all of these things are moving forward, and there's a lot of possibilities. And I think that you might contend with some of the bad Eastern Conference teams like the Wizards and the Pistons. This is an opportunity for the Blazers to really, really figure out their core, especially when you have Scoot, you have Klingon, who you just drafted. If you had Cooper Flagg to that mix, that's a very, very interesting trio to build around. So, you got to see something from Scoot, or at minimum one of your guards.
Yeah, and again, this is about we talked at length in the past about Scoot Henderson and why he was disappointing in his rookie year, and the fact that we're not necessarily giving up on him. You know, we've said it in the past plenty of times. Plenty of NBA rookies start slow. You don't give up on, especially a young small point guard in year one. That's fine. Yeah. But if we're talking storylines, that's the biggest thing is he going to be a star? If not, where do the Trailblazers go? Like, what's their story and what's their arc as a team? Because we've complimented them in the past, right? They have some smart guys over there that have done a good job since they traded Damian Lillard of building for the very least, at least an interesting young core. They just made some interesting trades to get Denny. They brought in Klingon. They have a lot of pieces. 3 bigs, 2 of them need to be traded. Like 3 forwards in Jeremy Grant and Denny and I'm blanking, and Kamara that can be complementary to ball handlers. The 3 ball handlers that we'll see who rises to the top, but lots of options. It's just a ton of pieces that'll be really good once they figure out who the guy is. And this season is about finding out, do we have the guy in the locker room right now, or is it going to be next draft?
Yeah, exactly. Ton of useful pieces that you envision being a part of any like productive organization, but none of these pieces matter if you haven't figured out or identified the face of your franchise or the guy who can consistently, generate offense or defense or whatever it might be for your team. So that's the biggest storyline for that side of things.
And there's plenty of avenues to find the guy. Every team eventually finds it. Nobody rebuilds forever unless you're the Sacramento Kings. But
damn.
Pretty much every team, we're not going to go like 7 years without a guy. So in the coming years, they'll draft him or they'll trade for him. They'll figure it out. So it's all about building up the supporting cast so when he comes in the locker room, you're ready. And yeah, Scoot Henderson's the biggest swing factor there, so I like it.
Yeah, and if he's not the guy, it's okay because, they have Milwaukee's picks in 2028. They got Milwaukee's pick 2029, and then they own swap rights back in like 2030, I believe, too. So they have a lot of punches, so many assets to build on. But right now, Scoot Henderson is the main focus. We can dead the Scoot talk now, though. One of y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy we started with Scoot. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Donovan, what's your first major storyline that's going to shape the NBA season?
Okay, so this one is actually going to change the NBA. I need to know if JJ Reddick is the next Greg Popovich.
I'm glad you said this.
I think that is one of like, if not top 5, like top 3 storylines because and we talked about it on the stream on Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tap into that. But we talked about how everybody on the Lakers that was on the team last year completely basically just said, yeah, Darvin Ham didn't know what he was doing. He had us just running around. We had no plan. And now with JJ here, it feels like a real basketball team. And you see clips on social media about how everybody's locked in. And as the coach of the Lakers, who is also coaching LeBron James, every single game that you coach, every decision that you make will be dissected. Everybody's going to have an opinion on it. If the Lakers, who have LeBron, who everyone still recognizes is a top 10 player in the league, if you still have Anthony Davis, right, who everybody says is, one of the best defenders in the league, can get you 27. If you have those 2 guys on your roster, how is it that you guys were won 47 games. This should be a roster that wins a lot more games. If JJ Redick is actually competent and even more than competent, if he's good at his job, are the Lakers sneakily underrated? Are the Lakers actually a team that can sneak into the top 3 of the West? Like those are the things where, again, a lot of the West is separated by 1 to 2, 3 games. And I'm sure that Darvin Ham cost the Lakers 3 games with his coaching, last season.
I'm positive. Positive.
JJ Redick can come in and change all of that. And we may be looking up at December, and the same team that was on a roll winning the in-season tournament last year in December, they could actually be going in the right direction and be at the top of the conference.
You said this is a top 5 storyline in the NBA. Maybe I'm just a homer, but I think it's low-key top 1.
Homer.
Obviously, the Lakers are always the top of our minds as NBA fans. They get the special treatment from the media, but it's for good reason this time. They have LeBron, they have AD, and they've been disappointing. And now they have also the Bronny element, which doesn't necessarily matter on the court, but that is a storyline that's going to be a part of the NBA season. Like, whether you care about the pick, you think it was wasted, you think he'll be good, I don't really care. But it's undoubtedly a major storyline that LeBron James is playing with his son. Like, that's ridiculous. So you combine that, like, I had this written down too as my number 1 storyline, and I wrote Bronny James and JJ Redick join the Lakers circus, because that's really what it is. It's a media frenzy, and we added the two biggest additions to the NBA in terms of names, right? Like in terms of headlines, JJ Redick doing his media career, being very popular in the space, and obviously we know Bronny, what comes with that and the baggage and everything. This is the most attention that's injected into the league for any team.
100%.
And on the basketball side, again, I'm a Lakers fan. So, being a fan, I can sell myself on some shit. Every year, I can convince myself that my team is going to be great. Everybody can,
be
right?
delusional, of course. It's
Yeah,
core as a
every fan this time of the year is like, maybe we're going to win the fucking championship. Whole time they're a Spurs fan. Like, there's no bounds for the hope of fans. But everything that's being said right now around JJ Redick and the infrastructure he's creating in the start of training camp is exciting. We talked about it in the stream. Everybody that talked at Media Day said, damn, we had no structure last year, and it's kind of crazy. JJ Redick has a plan. They're like dumbfounded because Darvin Ham was out there, in D'Angelo Russell's words, winging it. They had zero structure, zero program, zero plan, anything of the sort. They were out there winning on talent, as D'Angelo Russell said. And that makes total sense, right? Everything we talked about with this team the past couple of years has been disappointment because we expect more given their talent on paper. And now we're at the point where they failed 2 years in a row, so we don't really expect that anymore because we're like, maybe they just don't have that good of players. Or maybe Darvin Ham was even worse than we expected. And now with competent coaching and hopefully high-level coaching, there's a reason people said maybe this is going to be a top 4 team last year. Maybe we should go back to having those expectations.
I feel like if the Lakers were to become a top 4 team, the clear and cut pathway to that is their offense elevating. I feel like they did over the last few years a horrendous job of maximizing their offense through the new talent that they acquired, like D'Lo, and also like the new core D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and the things that Rui Hachimura does. If they're going
Torian Prince played 35 minutes a night. That's not optimizing offense at all.
Yeah, exactly. If they're going to be, sneak into the 5th, 4th, 3rd seed or whatever it might be in the Western Conference, it's going to be because they have a top 5 offense in the NBA, not more so their defense. I think there's this pathway for that too.
And look at everything that's been said this preseason about the personnel, how they're going to be deployed offensively. He said, Rui Hachimura, you have to shoot a lot of threes. That wasn't something prioritized by Darvin Ham. In fact, Rui Hachimura wasn't always prioritized by Darvin Ham. Now they said, we know Rui has to shoot a lot of threes and has to focus on defense. Makes total sense. He said Austin Reeves has to run off the screens and get involved with off the ball. Duh. Darvin Ham thought he was essentially a point guard and made him try to become this 3rd star and do a super on-ball role, and it kind of diminished what made him so exciting a couple years ago. JJ Redick also said Anthony Davis can't go 5-minute stretches without touching the ball, something Donovan has criticized everybody for involved around the Lakers, especially Anthony Davis. Sounds like it might have been a Darvin Ham issue.
Everybody's at fault for that. Everybody's at fault for that.
Exactly. And that's the clear thing JJ Redick said, we just can't fucking let that happen. And we all know he's mentioned Anthony Davis as a hub in a lot of conversations. He's saying all the right things that you could imagine that Mo ends up being right and they are a top offense. It wouldn't shock anybody.
Yeah. We have very short memory as NBA fans and as NBA consumers, because again, in December, this was a team that again, was making a run in the in-season tournament. Their defense looked fantastic. We saw one of the greatest games of Anthony Davis's career in that in-season tournament final. And you're looking at this team, and you're like, okay, LeBron's here. Anthony Davis is playing at the peak of his powers. This is everything that you've ever wanted him to be. And all of a sudden, it turns around in an instant. And part of that is like trying to get back on track. And that does, land on the players, but also getting your team prepared every night. Mm-hmm. We look at that as a coaching thing. And to be able to actually not be able to have your team locked back in, that's on Darvin Ham. You had 4 or 5 months to get locked in. And everybody, while teams did say, hey, we are going for the in-season tournament and we do want to win it, like these games are competitive, everybody understands that the playoffs and the Larry O'Brien trophy, that's the ultimate goal. And to win that in December and still not be ready by April, that's crazy. So we'll see what JJ Reddick does. And if he is, 10, 15% more competent than Darvin Ham, this is a team that can not only make the top 4, make the top 3. We're expecting a big jump from Memphis, but we have to see how all of those pieces fit together again.
Hey, they're already getting injured again. It's already looking bad for them.
It's wild.
Memphis?
Yeah. Vince Williams is injured now, and so is Jaren Jackson Jr.
Look at that. The Timberwolves, who made the conference finals, just traded Cat away. They have to reintegrate stuff. The Mavericks, who were doing all this great stuff on defense, they just brought in Klay Thompson. We'll see how he fits into their entire scheme. The only team that we feel 100% confident about in the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because even the Nuggets, they have depth issues. It's wide open in the West. And so if we look up in December, January, and the Lakers are the 2nd seed, they're the 3 seed, it wouldn't shock me at all. And all of that depends on how good is JJ Reddick immediately. So, I think I'm with you. This honestly might be number 1 just because it's the Lakers.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the in-season tournament as a big part of that because I forgot who it was. Around mid-season last year, there was some podcast. I think it was a Bill Simmons episode where he was interviewing some former player or coach, and he mentioned the point that
it might have been Doc.
Yes, it was Doc. Yeah, before he took over for the Bucks, and he said that he thinks the in-season tournament is going to be weird for the teams that win it every year because it's emotionally, as a person who's been a part of teams, as a player and a coach, he sees that when you ramp up to try to win something, and you put yourself in the emotional state that you're trying to chase a trophy, trying to get victory, you kind of ramp up. You're building up to something. The hype comes up. The want to win builds up. That's different than a regular, random November regular season game. And with that rise in emotion comes a drop because you can't just go up forever. Eventually, you either win the championship or you don't, that being the in-season tournament, and there's inevitably going to be a come down from that. So Doc was saying that he thinks every year whoever wins is going to have a strange arc to their season because that's just not a natural human emotion to come back from and go to work the next day. Teams are used to, you win a championship, you go home and you relax. And you know how you can negate that as a team? Have a great coach who tells his team, don't be fucking complacent. Fuck the in-season tournament. We have 60 more games to play. You better lock in. And I think JJ Redick is a lot more equipped to tell them to lock the fuck in than Darvin Ham ever was.
100%. At least the one thing that I do know is that like JJ, whenever he's telling his players that, he's going to have some type of hand motions. He's going to be more animated, right? His hands aren't going to be in his pockets while giving the speech. So yes, I think that from what we've seen from JJ in his media career, I do think there's going to be, a very self-awareness about the Lakers this season, where last year it kind of felt like there were parts of their season where you kind of felt like they were living in like delusion. And part of that is Darvin Ham being like, we're going to try out this lineup where we have four forwards in the starting lineup, and it's going to work.
God.
And so I think, the Lakers, they will be better than expected. I think that a lot of people wrote them off and kind of put them in the same category because they ended up in the same standings as the Warriors. Those two teams are in completely different spaces going into this season. And obviously, the Lakers are, in my opinion, they're trending up and the Warriors are trending down.
Yeah. The other part's interesting, though, is I've seen a lot of reporting around this that all the beat report, this is crazy, by the way, we're not going to talk about this, but all the reporters that are there at Media Day have said that the general vibe is that they're not trying to go all in, that they're trying to build a culture that in the minds of these reporters is about a life after LeBron and establishing something that'll carry over. If they can win now, great, but they're not necessarily like preaching that. It's preaching let's build something and let's have a program around JJ Redick. And that isn't, I think some people take that to mean they're unserious, they don't want to win. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's good. I think you're better off building a culture and not setting super high expectations and then seeing if that culture can pay dividends early and maybe you end up winning more than you expect. It's good to know that that's the general vibe is let's build something, not let's try to cash in for short-term wins.
Also, that tells me they're being realistic, and also that talk of like, yeah, let's build a program, build a culture. That's code for like, yo, we're cooked. Let's just focus on the basics, you know? And I think that's the best way to go about it at this point in time. Because usually, I remember last year, we were all focused on like, ooh, what can they go ahead and do with these 2 weak-ass first-round picks? Can they maybe get DeJounte Murray? Can they maybe get Zach LaVine and all that other stuff? And now at this point in time, I think this is the right way to do it and just chill, relax, maximize on whatever you guys have right now, and see what happens in the future.
I like you mentioned being realistic because I guarantee you Darvin Ham was in that interview trying to get this coaching job and he was like, give me the reins. I was back at a championship. I'll figure out how to make it work with Russ and saying all this shit. And I bet JJ Redick was like, listen, man, I don't know, but I can try. We can try to build a culture. Not promising any championships anytime soon. Like, I bet that was just an entirely different approach because Darvin Ham was an assistant coach grinding and wanted the opportunity. And JJ Redick is like, man, I am a normal person with eyes, and I realize this is not the best team in the West.
And you know what? I respect Darvin Ham for that because all that tells me is that he's a bag chaser. He will say whatever, do whatever, act whatever. Exactly.
And it worked because Rob Pelinka's a fucking mark, and it worked, and he got sold a dream.
And he's getting paid till this day from being fired from the Lakers head, bro. So,
yeah, Jeannie Buss heard that shit, and she was like, I'm in. Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. You got to respect it. What's your first storyline, Isaac?
Let's jump over to the other. Jump over to Lakers East, the other most popular team in the NBA. Let's talk about the Celtics.
Ew.
I think in the same way the Lakers are always a major topic of discussion in the NBA, so are the Boston Celtics, especially coming off of an NBA championship in which they finally got it done with their 2 stars that we spent the last 3 years saying, are they ever going to get it done? Do they have to trade one? So on and so on. You know, we know how the story went. They added the necessary pieces and became the best team in the NBA by far and finished it. So, coming into this year, it's obviously, can they repeat? Can they start a run that we're not going to use the D word yet, but can it become a multi-time championship team? Can it become a team that is, remembered in NBA history as one of the most dominant teams of all time? Because, most championship teams lose something after the year and they kind of go into the next year getting bits and pieces taken away. Maybe they have a role player in a contract year. He gets taken away, a la Bruce Brown. And we look up and we pick them to win again. But after the end of the year, we realize certain pieces were gone that make us realize their window wasn't quite as large as we think. I don't think that's the case of the Boston Celtics. They didn't lose a goddamn thing. It doesn't look like they're going to lose a goddamn thing for the next 4 years. So, are they going to be a dynasty or not? You tell me.
Well, first off, listen, they about to lose their owner. So that's one. I have to nitpick. I don't want to see them succeed. They're
over here having conversations with the owner every other day. They probably didn't see them, man, other than
I have to say something. I don't want to see this team be a dynasty.
That does matter. Like, that owner's been willing to spend. We don't know if the next one will be. In fact, we know the next one probably will be, definitely has to be less willing to spend because this one is just the most willing to spend possible. So that might matter.
Yeah, but at least for this season, I think that the back-to-back thing is really interesting because it's been so long since we've seen so long. It's been like 6 years since we've seen a team.
That is a long time. In the NBA history, it's a long time.
Yeah. But I think for the Celtics, like the back-to-back stuff, we'll see that in April. I'm not too concerned about them in the regular season. Although we did go through last year saying at least me, I know I said it. Are they really, this dominant? They didn't really play anybody in the playoffs, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. I think that doing it again is very, very hard. And especially in today's NBA where teams are incentivized to break up the team. Like you just don't, the rules are set up so that teams don't go back to back so that you don't have dynasties. And I think the fact that they have gone all in on the second title, it's very, very interesting when everybody else is loaded up in the East. This is more of an Eastern Conference thing than just a Celtics singular thing. Because the the Sixers obviously loaded up. The Knicks back. The Bucks expect to be good. Like all these teams are taking their shot. And now I think that we're actually going to see the Celtics get as tested as they have been now that they finally, gotten on top of the mountain.
Yeah. It's hard to go back to back, man. Like you said, it's been 6 years. The teams that have gone back to back throughout the course of NBA history have been mostly dynasties. We've seen a lot of basically super teams of multiple all-time level talents, multiple Hall of Famers in the peak of their primes, win multiple chips. The Warriors, the Miami Heat, the Lakers, the Spurs. Well, actually, the Spurs never won back to back. But, nonstop dynasties have really shaped the course of NBA history until the late 2010s and 2020s. That hasn't necessarily been the case since 2018 it was. Mm-hmm. Can they be the first? And, of these last 5 championships that failed to go back to back, I think they're clearly set up the best out of them all, right? If you think about them all, the Raptors lost Kawhi. The Lakers got Rob Pelinka and blew up the core of their team, what made them work. Morons. The Bucks, injuries, and PJ Tucker aged out pretty quickly. Warriors caught lightning in a bottle, probably should have never been there. Didn't happen again. The Nuggets, Jamal Murray injury. They're probably the second best setup to keep winning. But, they lost Bruce Brown, so maybe that's something. The Celtics don't really have any of those issues. We'll see what injury luck, but nothing else.
Yeah, like the issues like Kristaps Porzingis, he's what makes them like unbeatable. And I don't think he's even starting out the season 110%. Just say he still has the same nagging injury from the NBA Finals. So I think that is the underlying factor, the X factor for the Boston Celtics. If he's able to, remain healthy and if they're able to give him proper load management, then there's a real world where they're able to go back to back. And that is a damning world too, a world that I hope doesn't ever cease to exist. But if it happens, it happens. And also,
I'm honestly not even hating on him anymore.
Fuck that.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, now that they got it done, I'm like, I'm not out here claiming to be a Celtics fan, but I'm not like, it was fun to pray their downfall before. Now I'm just like, interested.
If they win again,
as a Lakers fan, you should hate the Celtics with everything in your being.
We've been over this so many times. My brain does not operate like that. I don't give a shit.
Man, it's not real.
All of our other friends in our group chats at home want me to be this like emotional fan, and it just won't happen.
The only thing good about the Boston Celtics winning to me is that I get to see Jaylen Brown add another championship to his resume, and also Al Horford is pushing his Hall of Fame case to the walls, bro.
Oh no, Al Horford is a first ballot Hall of Fame. Like that's kind of locked.
First ballot. First ballot. Oh, college too. Yeah, college.
Okay. But no, yeah, I think like with the Celtics, yes, the Porzingis thing is interesting. They have a lot of like mini subplots going on because it's the Porzingis thing, it's the Tatum thing that we're gonna see.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Joe Mazzulla really, really stepped up last season and like took a massive step as a coach. I want to see how crazy is he gonna push it this season, right? Like, is there another leap that we can see from Joe Mazzulla? And so all these little things. Can Al Horford stay on the floor? Because like Mo said, he's pushing a Hall of Fame ballot thing. This guy is old, and without Porzingis, he's gonna have to play a lot of minutes. Is he gonna be able to stay healthy? So there's a storyline for nearly everybody on this team.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it would be crazy if they were better. And the only reason I say that is
that's wild.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, not in the regular season. Then that was absolutely outrageous. Again, I'm really not even in the playoffs either because they were so dominant. So maybe I shouldn't say that because it's just like in terms of outcome, it's pretty
more by eye test.
Pretty hard. You mean? But I am buying stock in Jason Tatum right now. I think there's been a lot of criticism over the last 4 or 5 months for good and bad reasons, especially coming out of the Olympics and coming out of the summer, which I put zero stock in, but many people do, and that's fine. But the jump shot has been bad, as you've mentioned a lot, Donovan. And I don't think it's going to be bad forever. Maybe it's just optimism, but I'm not of the opinion that his jump shot is broken. And as great as he was last year, if he can really have some fire lit under him from all the scandals, not scandals, the wrong word, but all the criticism around him and all the just ridiculous hate he's gotten.
About to say, Jason Tatum, what happened? I'm out of the
loop. If he can be motivated by that, which I think being coached by Joe Mazzulla is very possible because he's fucking psychotic in the best way, I could see Jason Tatum having a career year. And if we see the best version of every single Jason Tatum, which I know is something we say every year, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think we could look up and be like, holy shit, they're just as unstoppable, if not even more.
I don't know what type of witchcraft or voodoo that Joe Mazzulla has to do to Jason Tatum. He might hog time and put him over a campfire and show him all the hate tweets and terrible hate takes
Why would I
made about him. But I don't blame you for having Jason Tatum or putting stock into Jason Tatum, because for me personally, I haven't announced it yet, but I'm going to soft launch it. He might be my MVP frontrunner for this year.
I like that.
It's a beautiful story
I like
that makes so much sense. And of course, I
like
joke
it
about it all the time about like me disliking the Celtics or like Jason Tatum or whatever. I really don't care, to be honest with you. It's just fun to poke fun at other.
What do y'all care about, man?
Look at us.
What do y'all care
Look at the
about?
highlights. Hey, shut up.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That's me.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But
For the audio listeners, we're watching highlights from the playoffs, and it's one of the games in which our logo was on the half-court scorers table. Random little tidbit.
Ain't it crazy to see your face just pop up in the middle of a playoff game?
Absolutely insane. All these people I know throughout life hitting me up like, dude, you're on the NBA playoffs court? What the heck? Went to Donovan's wedding, and some dude I haven't talked to in 5 years. Shout out Alex. It was like, dude, we saw you guys on the NBA playoffs. I was like, what the hell? It's just a crazy feeling.
That's insane. That is insane. But yeah, like I think this year is made for Jason Tatum and the Celtics to go ahead and just shut up all the haters about the stupid ass narrative that's been built about them through things that I've said, you said, I think, Donovan, and the rest of the NBA world. We're just waiting for them to fall and break everything up.
And it's going to be interesting because championship teams kind of go through different phases as teams after they win. Sometimes there's malaise and you don't see them go back to back because they're satisfied. Sometimes there's criticisms that they crumble under. Sometimes they, the expectations, there's injuries and they fail to live up to it, and then they crumble in the playoff setting because it's just so much pressure. Very different outcomes are possible for a championship team. Sometimes they take the regular season less seriously, and that leads to different outcomes in the playoffs. That's the biggest thing to watch, is how is Joe Mazzulla going to set the tone? How are they going to come out? Are they going to be just as hungry as they were last year? Because they were fucking starving last year. Like, you saw it. You saw very clearly that Jalen and Jason Tatum had something to prove. They knew this. They didn't win that year. Then they're cooked probably. They're not going to win. What does that motivation look like in this year?
It's the in-season tournament. That's what it is. They're going to make the push. They're going to. I can see a situation where Joe Mazzulla is trying to get them through the malaise of like December and all that, and like the early part of the season. It's like, all right, like let's go for this right now, and then we can temper our expectations, get ready for the playoffs. But I can definitely see him like having some crazy whiteboard with lines drawn everywhere, and it's like win every game, win every possession. Like that might be it for the Celtics.
Okay,
that's hilarious.
Well, what is the fourth storyline we're discussing today?
Ooh, something that is very, very underlying, but might be the most important storyline throughout the regular season, because I believe this player is probably going to get moved, is Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler has exactly 2 years left on his contract. Next year, he has a player option for $52 million.
Pick that up.
Which means he has 1 year left, because people never opted in that last year because they want a longer-term deal.
Exactly. NBA dictionary, NBA terminology. So, with that being said, also, the Miami Heat only have 4 players signed after next season to the roster. And Jimmy Butler is one of them. This team basically is like on a lease right now. And this might be the actual last year that they have of being just like trying to figure it out and seeing if they can luck their way into another NBA Finals run or whatever it might be. After year after year after year, whether it be, them trying to land on Bradley Beals or the Zach LaVines, Donovan Mitchells, or as of late, Damian Lillard's, they've run their course. It's either like, I don't think there's going to be any star player available for trade this year. And I think they've run their course. And this is probably the last year of like Miami Heat tough body culture that we're going to be able to experience. And if they get off to another slow start, injury riddled and all that, and if we see Jimmy Butler and these boys going through the slums, barely being 3-4 games over 500, I believe that they're probably going to move Jimmy Butler, as they should, and let Bam and I guess Ty Hero take over the reins of this organization while they truly look for another superstar to do right by.
Interesting. Yeah, this is extremely under talked about. People have mentioned Jimmy Butler's contract, but it's been under the topic of like maybe next summer something will happen. We'll see if they extend him. Who's going to say? But nobody's really talked that much about the fact that this team's performance will decide if they blow it up or not, because they are, as you said, very well positioned to do so. And you mentioned, maybe no stars that come available this year. We don't really see it coming. We didn't see Karl Anthony Towns being traded, and it happened overnight. So you never fucking know. So I like that. Like, is there a world where Jimmy Butler is traded at this trade deadline?
Maybe.
I think there.
That's not crazy.
We saw. Listen, I think everybody in the Heat, on that team, understands that this year is very, very serious. Example one is Jimmy Butler coming into media day with his regular haircut.
Yeah, no tomfoolery.
Exactly. He's not playing around this season. He's not. This isn't the same guy that was a jumper away from sending the Heat to the final. This isn't the same guy that just is coming off of a finals appearance. And we've heard all the stories about Pat Riley not really being happy. He kind of subbed him after, and not even sub. It was a direct shot.
It was
a direct shot after Jimmy Butler was talking in the playoffs, and Pat Riley was like, "Yeah, if you're not on the court, you just need to shut up."
Yeah.
And it's very, very rare that you see a GM player have like a conversation that direct, but also be indirect because it's in the media. But the Heat, like, I think all of us know, you can't do this every year. You can't go through the regular season and get the 7th seed and then think, okay, we're just going to turn it on and now we're going to get to the finals. And I think that the writing is going to be on the wall. And especially if we get into the start of the season and Terry Rozier doesn't look like the guy that they thought he was going to be, if we don't see Tyler Hero, ascend into something that another team would potentially want as like a trade piece, and you start looking around and you're like, okay, we have Bam, and I guess we're stuck with Tyler Hero. What else do we have? Not really anything. Yeah. We're probably going to, like most of it, we're probably going to trade Jimmy. So I 100% see that situation because I don't think that they're going to be one of the 5 best teams in the East, one of the 6 best teams. Like that's probably their range. They're going to fight for just being out of the play-in. It's tough, man.
Well, what does it look like though? Like, okay, so if they succeed, if they're top 6 team, everything goes as planned, they look like the Miami Heat of old, which I think is very possible. I think I believe them a little bit more than you do, Donovan. Mm-hmm. Then nothing happens, right? They have another year where they try to make a deep run with their same formula they've done the last 4 years. But if it's terrible, if there's injuries, if they are in a play-in race in February and Jimmy Butler is not happy and they decide to move him, what does that look like for them? Like, what's the market for Jimmy Butler? Like, do they get a young star back for him at Jimmy Butler's age and contract situation?
Yeah.
If they do, if they get another like second option, sure, you run with him, Bam, and Harrow and try to make it work. If the market isn't that robust for an expiring Jimmy Butler, what do you do now? Because now you have Bam Adebayo, who's fantastic, not necessarily a elevate everybody around him type of star and get it out the mud with him as your one option. You got him and a whole bunch of unexciting prospects that can be good players, but they're not going to have a huge ceiling. So they could be in a really bad situation really fast.
It's looking scary. It's looking scary because you lost Caleb Martin as well, who. You can say what you want about Caleb Martin. If he's playing for the Heat, it's a different player. We will see what he looks like in a Sixers uniform. But I know that whatever Eric Spoelstra tells him gives him +5, +7 attributes across the board. So I don't think this season is going to go well for the Heat. I think I was kind of out last year. I bought back in after they traded for Terry, but then as we got to the playoffs, I bought back out. And I think that I'm staying out. I think I don't have that much stock in them for being.
Are we predicting officially? Are we making the prediction that the Heat are the next team to blow it up?
They should be, bro. They should be. And if they go ahead and blow it up or decide to retool or whatever it might be, automatic
it'll probably be a retool.
Yeah, probably retool because Bam Adebayo he's in year 8 of his NBA career, and there's no
Dan Gilbert, tell Pat Riley thank you. The Cleveland Cavaliers have ducked the allegations as the next team to blow it up. The Miami Heat are now on the hot seat.
Is there a
new king in the trades machine?
Is there a move that Miami can make to get back to like the top of the East? And by top I mean top 4.
Yeah. It
I don't know.
depends. If it has to be the most random player who has the most random fallout in either conference, of course. And I don't know if that's there necessarily. It's unforeseen. It happens all the time. But also at the same time, like what player is going to be moving the needle like that? That they
Zach LaVine move you? Cam Johnson? I don't know.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, Cam Johnson, Brandon Ingram, like none of those players are.
Oh yeah, that
shifting.
Ingram. That could move you.
You think Ingram?
If they traded like Ware and Hero and whatever picks necessary for Ingram, that could be a. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily believe in it, but that's a talent injection that could change things.
Listen, when the Pistons have 7 wins in February, Kate Cunningham, go ahead. Ask for the trade. Ask for it. That's why I'm starting. I'm starting it up. Cade, ask for the trade, man. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be.
Hey, that'd be kind of dope though. If Ingram got traded to the Heat and Kello Ware went to the Pelicans, who could maybe be a stretch 5 one day.
It could work.
That would make a lot of sense. Hero's a shooter. You have a shooter in Kello Ware. I'm just there's probably a reason that doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm pulling this like completely out of my ass, but I kind of like it off of zero thought.
So, automatic teams in my mind that might be interested in Jimmy Butler if this was to happen and the Miami Heat were going to be like, all right, yeah, like our time is, we've run the course of Jimmy Butler. Guys, our teams like the Indiana Pacers, I don't know if they still have a lot of picks and assets and young players left
I was thinking that,
to go ahead and package, whether it be Bennedict Mathurin and Jarris Walker. I think of the Golden State Warriors, like both of these teams have run out of time, and this could be like a last ditch effort to, give Steph one real last opportunity. Great fit there too.
Is it a great fit? That'd be kind of gross.
Yeah, Draymond and Jimmy Butler, they'd have to figure it out a little bit. I think they have to offload Kuminga. He can't exist on the court with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you can't.
That might be the main like selling point. So I think as long as Kuminga's not there, it could work.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. Donovan, what is the 5th storyline of the day? It's worth monitoring.
Let me see. Let me go to my list. Let me see what we're talking about. We are going to talk about, once again, the 2 guys who failed to link up this summer for a workout. We're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks because this is a team that right now, I understand why some people might think that the Bucks are back on the up and up, and you have Giannis who's still at the peak of his powers, and he is good enough to will a team to a certain stature. I don't know. I don't think that I'm buying it. And I think that the biggest story, I don't think I am. And I think that the biggest storyline is obviously Dame and Giannis and their connection and their ability to play off of each other. And it was so clear and it was so weird last season how every time Giannis left the floor or anytime Giannis was hurt, Dame was like, oh my goodness, I remember like how to play basketball. I remember how to be Damian Lillard. And the moment Giannis comes back onto the floor, they couldn't figure it out. And you had 2 different the whole situation last year was crazy. You had 2 different coaches. Doc Rivers comes in the middle of the season. We're talking right now, Chris Middleton. We have no idea if he's going to be any type of healthy. You got a little flash of like good Chris Middleton during the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to come back. Brook Lopez is old. This whole team is old. And somehow, if Dame and Giannis can figure out a 2-man game, they can be they have the potential to be the most lethal 2-man game in the NBA. And that will elevate the Bucks to be in a place where we're like, okay, we go into a 7-game series. I don't want to see those 2. And that swings everything in the Eastern Conference. If Dame and Giannis are like this, and if they know how to play off of each other, the Bucks are right back to being a legitimate title contender in that inner circle in the entire league. But if not, does Giannis say like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm out. How do we deal with Dame? The Bucks have pushed all of their chips to the table. They traded for Drew Holiday, pushed everything forward, then doubled down, and they traded Drew Holiday, and then they traded for Dame. Now you really have no assets. You have an aging team. What does it look like? And I think that at least out east, this is the most interesting thing in the entire conference.
That makes sense. They're in a very unique situation because 2 things are true. 1, they had a new coach midseason, which is not an easy thing to do, right? Mm-hmm. It stands to reason that you could only get so much better while making a quick turnaround like that, and that with a full offseason, they can come in more on the same page with a new game plan, taking the learnings they had from the second half of the season, and really building with a full training camp under one regime who has one vision. That could make you believe that this team will undoubtedly be more put together to some degree this season. The other thing that is true is that there's no way in fuck you want to bet on Doc Rivers to make those moves. That's not an exciting mind to put your trust in. Not that he's a terrible coach, but he's not the most exciting coach either. You know, like there's a reason when they hired him, everybody was like, I guess, like he's a professional, so maybe he can hit competency, which Adrian Griffin wasn't able to do with his team. But I don't view Doc Rivers as a coach that's going to take things to the next level and really unlock things. And maybe all they need is competency, right? Maybe they just need to get on the same page so Dame and Giannis can be competent together to the degree in which we'd hope they can be. I don't know. Like, does a consummate professional, is that enough to get them there? Someone who you trust will put in basic offensive and defensive principles that will not do dumb shit like make Brook Lopez play at the top of the screen and be an aggressive help defender. They'll make him be a drop defender like he always should have been. They'll make Damian Lillard run pick and rolls. Like, does that basic stuff get them to where they need to be? Or do they need somebody smart to figure it out because it's just awkward?
Bare minimum, I think it's a great sign that they got competent players like DeLon Wright and the Gary Trent Juniors of the world and the Taurean Prince of the world, who's like not the biggest names, but they can each give you 15 to 20 minutes a game outside of Taurean Prince to 20 minutes a game of just like, okay, like he's not absolutely killing our team. He's actually doing some productive asset to the game. That's not thanking us right now.
Yeah, it's definitely good additions. But it really, like Donovan said, it all comes down. Like, those additions will help. Those are good role players of what they have at their disposal to get better. But if we don't get elite Dame with elite Giannis, it really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, they're not a title contender. This is one of the reasons why I'm very skeptical about them. And we're gonna, make our predictions. But right now, when I look at the Bucks, I don't see a team that is a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. I don't.
They're not top 4?
I don't. Right now,
Not
I
top
don't.
4 is nuts. That
Right
is
now,
nuts.
I don't see it.
Wow.
I think that.
Is the Cavs over them?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We got to talk about them in their own right. They're also not exactly exciting. I don't know if I'll go that far.
If we're talking about like championship aspirations, yeah, they're in the same boat. But like, if we're talking about regular season and who's going to be there, who's going to be available, Giannis has gotten hurt at the end of the last 2 years. He's been dealing with stuff.
At the end,
Dame has also been injured throughout the regular season over the past couple of years. Once again, Chris Middleton in and out the lineup. So there's a lot of injury stuff that comes along with them. And it's just so weird. And it has puzzled my mind all summer that two guys who on paper should fit perfect and like they should fit as good as any duo, right, can be. And it just didn't work for the entire – it's crazy. I haven't been able to figure it out.
I can. I figured it out fine. I think we should learn something from this, that we should not project that players will want to play new roles they've never played before. We assumed Giannis could play center and that he would be comfortable setting screens and being a pick and roll screen setter instead of pick and roll ball handler to a higher degree. We assumed he could do that because we know he has the frame to do it. He has the rolling ability to do it. He has everything needed. Turns out he just didn't fucking want to very much. And I think that's something we need to take away from that is when somebody shows you their style of play, have hope that they can change it, but don't assume so. Don't assume that it'll happen to the perfect degree to make them the best duo in the league. You got to see it first.
But don't you think that that's even more damning? Because it would be one thing if Giannis didn't have the skill set and now we're looking in and saying, okay, can we get you to do something or learn something new? Well, honestly, like it is in the same vein. Oh God, what just flew into my eye? What the? This is
help!
Crazy. This is crazy. And anyways, but like, rather than like we know that you can do it, and you just don't want to. I think that is more concerning to me, rather than I just know that you straight up can't do it. Because then we can figure out something else. And I've seen the whole season and it's like, okay, you are just incapable of doing that. But you watch Giannis play and you know that he has the physical tools to do the necessary things. Now it's more about mentality, and maybe Doc is the coach to bring that out of him. But other than that, it's really on Giannis. So now you're just hoping, and that's kind of scary.
I shouldn't have said he doesn't want to. That's a bit of an extreme. He wasn't comfortable doing so, I'd say. That's probably the better word verbiage. He tried. It's just, when a player like Giannis has such a high usage and has played one way for so long, there's habits that form with that, and also confidence that comes with that. Of you dominate and you're the best in the world playing a certain way, and then you're asked to get put into new positions on the court, think different thoughts, make different reads, just be put in different muscle memory situations. Some people, it's really easy. Like Kevin Durant can go team to team and play off ball, be a weak side rim protector, go to another team, run more pick and roll, do all these things. Kyrie Irving has shown the ability to do that. Like some players, it's easy. You just can't assume it will be for everybody because that's a skill in and of itself that doesn't work the same for every person.
We'll see. We just have to monitor this because again, if they can't get on the same page, they're cooked, and the whole franchise is about to get imploded.
Do you know who else is cooked and
Who?
their franchise might be imploding as we
Who?
speak? Or is it your turn?
I don't
right
know.
now, Isaac?
It's my turn, but you can go. I don't care. I have
Let's
a feeling
go
you're
ahead
about to tell me what the sixth best storyline in the league is this year. Tell me what it is.
The sixth best storyline in league this year has to be the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
We know their struggles and all the turmoil and the massive disappointment that they were last season through, after upgrading the roster, quote unquote upgrading and bringing in Bradley Beal, and now the new additions being Tyus Jones. Hopefully, they at least it seems like all signs are pointing towards Tyus Jones becoming the starting point guard for this team throughout this regular season. Will they work? I don't know. But looking hindsight, there's very little that this team can do to recoup and retool. There's no such thing as retooling with this team because they have no assets to do so through picks. They have no young players other than like Devin Booker, who's not even like super young anymore. I guess you could say Bol, but come on now, what are you talking about here? And if they were to fumble, Devin Booker, you look like an idiot trading Devin Booker because he is the franchise. He is the Phoenix Suns. You don't trade Bradley Beal. Why? Because you probably can't, and he has a no trade clause. Kevin Durant would be the only asset left if they were to go ahead and have another very disappointing season. Disappointing meaning they don't make no noise in the playoffs whatsoever, and they're a first round or second round exit. And if that's the case, I can envision a world in where, ironically enough, the Minnesota Timberwolves come out of nowhere. They save a lot of money and reconcile the loss of Karl Anthony Towns and get the man that Anthony Edwards is basically in love with, his childhood hero, Kevin Durant, and he becomes a Minnesota Timberwolves alongside Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels.
God, that'd be so cool.
And all those guys. And that'll be something special to see, and that's a real storyline that I'm seeing. Mainly, the Phoenix Suns imploding. Who cares about the Minnesota part? But
it's a crazy 2K storyline, but I can see it happen.
Yeah,
they're just so. I didn't put them because this is definitely one of the storylines in the NBA. I wouldn't attach the word interesting to it. I'm so over the Suns personally. They're just they are who they are, and they're mid, and it's a failed experiment that somebody who has a lot of money decided to make one too many tinkering thoughts, tried to have one too many big brain moves, and they made one of the most promising teams in the NBA that was in a championship window suddenly become the definition of mediocrity despite having the payroll they have. I just can't think of a less interesting thing for me right now. If they blow it up, thank God. If they keep running it back being the 6th seed, what the fuck ever. They're just the Suns.
What makes it interesting to me is just the thought of KD being on the move again and him still being pretty much at the peak of his powers. You know?
I hope he's on the move again. I hope it fails.
I think like Isaac just said, we've seen Matt Ishbia be crazy, right? We've seen him be delusional over the last year and some change. And so how much time is he going to give this team to actually grow or do whatever, have any chance of stepping up? Listen, they did win 49 games last season. So we
put all the pressure on Ishbia. James Jones is also a wild boy. Since he got there, he's been so trade happy. That guy loves to make big moves.
I understand that, but when you have two wild boys in your front office, a lot of stuff can happen. Whether it's
what's that tweet? You got some. It's always two dumb bitches telling each other yes.
And that is the Suns front office, right? It's just James Jones and Matt Ishbia just saying that. And so I don't I'm with Mo. I think there is a real possibility of them blowing it up and trying to get some type of asset, because you remember after the season ended and Ishbia was like, listen, 26 of the 30 teams would love to be in our position. It's like, actually, I don't think that's true. Is there a point in November where he looks up and he's like, oh, dang, it would actually be nice if we had some draft picks that we can trade. And the only way that you can get there is if you trade Booker or you trade KD. And so maybe,
You know what the funniest?
maybe this thing gets blown up immediately.
What's
You
funny?
know what the funniest thing I saw about the Suns today?
What is it?
There was this picture of Grayson Allen at media day flexing, holding the ball, like he looked pretty muscular, and people started asking about that, like, "Whoa, he looks like he put on some weight." And a reporter said today that he went from 190 to 225 over the summer. And these
35 pounds?
These motherfuckers really believe that Grayson Allen added 35 pounds in 2.5 months.
Hey guys, listen, I'm not trying to blow up the spot, but there will be some black Suburbans at Grayson Allen's crib in the next couple of days. Stay hydrated, my brother.
It's also just not true. There's no fucking way that he weighs that much. Like, it's just not true.
He was just bloated. He didn't drink his greens in the morning.
It's just one picture of him flexing, and people aren't used to seeing him flex, and people were like, "Whoa, he's a bodybuilder!" Like, it was just funny.
Missed a couple bowel movements.
Exactly. 225 is ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
that's ridiculous. That's insane.
He's Derrick Henry. All right, man. Next story I got. The next team. We're going back east. We have to talk about Donovan's favorite team, and led by Donovan's favorite player, the Philadelphia 76ers.
I really thought we were
What a
about to
turn.
talk about the Knicks.
What a turn.
Nope.
Okay.
We're talking
Let
about.
me sit back down.
You mentioned the Bucks as the most interesting team in the East. I think it's probably the 76ers. I saw a tweet that was in bad faith, but it was funny, that said, Joel Embiid better make his third big three work. And it's lacking context, but this is his third edition of a very competitive team. Because if there's one thing the 76ers have shown over the last 10 years, it is dedication to making a contender around Joel Embiid. They understand that his window of being an elite player is thin. You know, his body type, his injury history, there's no givens with him. You can't waste a year. And, you know, the past 2 years haven't been wasted, but they haven't been the most talent we could possibly see. Especially last season after James Harden departed. It was the Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey show. And they made it work, but they needed Joel Embiid to play Herculean basketball. And in the first 3 months, he was doing that, having the best season of his career, having like the best scoring season of all time per minute. It was utterly ridiculous. And he got hurt again, per usual. It has him to do a lot, right? You're bound to get hurt more if you're having the ball every single play. And this year they went the other way. They brought in Paul George and kind of completed the post-James Harden move, right? We know that Daryl Morey was waiting until the summer to use that cap space. That's why he didn't rush to do a trade deadline trade. And now they have the fully formed version of what they want this team to be. And when Media Day came around, Joel Embiid talked about, I lost weight over the summer. I'm not going for MVP. I'm not going for all NBA. There's no agendas here. I'm getting myself healthy and ready for the playoff run because he understands the position he's in. Nobody fucking cares if you win another MVP at all. You need to get a ring because you have the potential to be one of the most talented players of all time, and you've done absolutely nothing in a playoff setting, which is the only thing people care about.
Yeah.
So that's the storyline, right? Does this new style of play that they're going to do around him, having less of a usage, I assume, putting more of the onus on Tyrese Maxey, who's continuing to develop, giving Paul George the necessary touches, does it lead to a healthier Joel Embiid over time?
Man, yeah, I can agree. If Joel Embiid, you know, if all the things that the Philadelphia 76ers have preached and the things that Joel Embiid, like, you know, said publicly, I think he said the other day that he lost 25 pounds or so, and he's trying to lose even more weight to maintain his overall health throughout the season. Like, if all that happens and all that is true and somehow, some way he ends up winning an NBA championship, do you know what that would do for his resume? Do you know how far he would, like, skyrocket towards the
He'd have the Dirk card
of the NBA history?
Yeah, exactly. He'd have the Dirk ring. That would be exactly what it would be.
Yeah, exactly. And we're over here witnessing a real opportunity for him to go ahead and do so, because there's a world in where we can see this very well being the second best team in the Eastern Conference behind the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I think they're probably the most likely team to be there. Them or the Knicks, right? Like, that's the competition. And it's not even about can they be the second seed, right? It's not about can it lead the regular season wins. I think it's almost a guarantee that if Joel Embiid has, you know, baseline level health, which for him doesn't mean 82 games, because that's just probably not going to happen. if he can play 68 games or whatever the arbitrary number that you feel is a good, healthy season from him, and you have regular Paul George and you have regular Tyrese Maxey, you're going to be a high seed. That's not a question. But not only will he be healthy for the playoffs, but do you guys think that this trio will perform in the playoffs? Like, does it move you from a talent perspective with the supporting cast they have, with the 2 sidekick stars they have? Like, do you think that is an actual championship ceiling?
Ceiling, yes. A likely ceiling, no. Because whether if it's his fault or not, there's obviously like the Joel Embiid health thing that we're talking about. On the other side of it, there's also the Paul George playoff stuff. So like you have 2 out of your big 3 guys for a variety of reasons that are unreliable when it comes to the playoffs. And there's some stuff that like when you look at this series and you look at that first round series, yes, Embiid was playing hurt. But at the same time, there were also opportunities at the end of games where he didn't look like he wanted the ball. Like he did it. It wasn't.
He had Bell's palsy. Why would he want the ball? He can see with one eye.
And he's injured. Like I wouldn't be confident either. You know, that's fine.
Okay, yes, but he was confident enough to score 50. So we'll do that. But
that is such a bad faith argument. That is hilarious. Just because he had a good game doesn't mean it's not understandable. There'd be confidence issues. The end of a game when your knee isn't working well and you can't see that well.
You think he's picking and choosing when he wants to perform and apply pressure?
Fucking hater. Confident enough to score 50. That's ridiculous.
All right, what's the next topic? Y'all gonna piss me off, man. What's the next topic?
No, I want to hear it.
No, I'm not gonna do this with y'all. Y'all piss me off, bro. What's the next topic? Cause y'all gonna act like y'all gonna act like it's crazy that to be like, oh wow, he scored 50 and I need you to score one more bucket. Clearly, you feel comfortable enough doing all the things. I saw Joel Embiid running up and down the court, but now you. I'm not doing this. I'm
not saying you can't criticize him, but to say the confidence thing isn't understandable, to use the 50 ball as a reason why.
I'm not doing this.
You're hilarious.
You've seen like players injured time and time again just go through like the worst and still perform. Like we've seen Giannis have a whole high percent knee, not be 100%, but play like he is. When Joel Embiid put up 50 like you saw, he wasn't 100%, but he played like he was, you know?
He's made a lot of jumpers. It was a great performance, but we don't got to pretend that other performances don't make sense because there was one good one. Like, it's understandable why he played poorly. And I'm not saying give him like to downplay it. He needs to stay healthy. That's the whole thing. So I'm not saying you can't criticize it, but to use the 50-point game as to make it sound like it's not understandable why the health impacted him down the stretches of other games.
Ain't no excuses.
Like, one doesn't take away the other. Like, we just apply a little bit of context.
I got it. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not saying you got a baby.
No,
he needs to stay healthy. It's fine.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Can he be lucky at the end of the day? Can his health luck be like at a decent level? Because he's been by far probably like when it comes to injury luck, the worst NBA player that we've seen since either Kawhi Leonard. Damn, never mind. Kawhi Leonard exists. Whole argument.
Yeah, those two for sure. Yeah, I mean, Kawhi has like a degenerate knee issue. I don't know if his is luck. Joel Embiid shit is routinely unlucky as hell. He had Bell's palsy.
Yeah,
I never
heard of that. I never knew that existed.
Dude, he had stomach virus and he had the shits one time. He had the shits in front of him for a playoff game because he had a stomach virus. That's ridiculous. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. Yeah, I had to run, so I can't.
Now that you say it, I didn't say yeah. With Kawhi, it's one consistent thing. It's them knees. As for Joel Embiid, it's always something different, bro. Always something different. An elbow, he has the runs, or and
he breaks his face. It's Looney Tunes bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's always something.
And then he has 2 guard stars that go diva mode and end up blowing the team up. Like, it's just ridiculous stuff over and over.
Yeah, he easily is the most unlucky NBA player now that I think about it. Kawhi's just regular.
Yeah, Kawhi's just like broken.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing that does interest me is, Donovan, you mentioned the Paul George playoff issues in the past too. Are you guys moved by, okay, let me say this. I mentioned with Giannis just now that we can't assume changes will be made until we see them, despite lip service. We heard Joel Embiid say he's not gunning for an MVP, right? So he's not going to be trying to score 50 against every lottery team he plays. We also heard Paul George on his podcast as of late be pretty honest about his state of his career and who he is and his level of stardom and what's needed from him next to other stars. I feel like he's been pretty real and mentioned that in past years when he's collapsed in the playoffs that he wasn't being as real with himself. Does that move you at all?
No, because we're gonna get we're going to get to that situation, and the ball's going to be
Just no.
in his hands. Like
Yeah.
like we're not gonna get to May, and all of a sudden Nick Nurse is like, oh wow, yeah, we have this third star. We actually don't trust Paul George anymore. We actually think that Paul George is at a diminished stage in his career. We're not going to give him the ball. He's going to have opportunities at the end of games to take over. And there's going to be times where Maxey may not have it. There's going to be times where Embiid does not have it. And to win a championship, especially when you have like a big three, you're going to need those games. And so there's 100% going to be opportunities where you're going to need Paul George to go sicko mode. Is he going to be able to do that whenever they need him to? He might have he might have a game. I don't know if he can do that consistently over 4 playoff rounds because we haven't seen it throughout.
As a third option, you don't think so?
We haven't,
because the last time you did try to see him, he's always been like the one option.
For some guys, being a third
Indiana.
option. Hey, for some guys, it makes it easier to be a third option. Some guys, it doesn't. Sometimes the lack of touches and lack of rhythm makes it hard to get your game off. Like, it's really to be determined what he looks like playing off of Joel Embiid.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see that. All I can go off of is the data that Paul George has given us throughout his career, and it's not necessarily encouraging when you look at like playoff performance. So no, I don't. That doesn't really move me.
Okay.
I see.
Donovan, what is the 8th storyline we're discussing today?
Let me go back to this list. Y'all done pissed me off, man.
That happened
So
5 minutes
tilted.
ago.
I want to talk about Paolo because I think that that Paolo and his growth is very, very significant, and it's kind of like a duo thing because the second part of it is whether or not Franz Wagner gets back to his normal self and he's able to remember how to shoot. But on top of that, even if Franz is just never the same level of shooter, if the Magic want to get to where they want to go, and it looks like they're doubling down on the direction that they want to go, which is point forward Paolo, and the ball's in his hands, and he is this massive creator who gets 30 a night but can also get 8 assists. That's a lot to ask of him. And that's a big, big leap for him to take to do that consistently at a very high and efficient clip. And if he is able to do that, the Magic are going to be really scary. Like they're gonna be a really, really tough out. And could they be a team that maybe sneaks into the conference finals? What type of future do we think that they have if Paolo becomes a star capital S? I think that his leap and his development is going to determine a lot for the next couple of years of the Magic's franchise.
Let's expand this one because this is the great point. Let's talk about Paolo and which young stars are going to transcend their current level of play they are and change the NBA. Because it could be Paolo with the Magic for all the reasons you just said. Could also be Victor Wembanyama in year 2.
That's
someone we talked about a lot.
Stamped. I don't.
Yeah, so we see him having a second-team All-NBA season. That's going to change the Spurs. They're not going to be a bottom feeder if that's the case. Who else is like that? Like maybe the Spurs and the Pistons are confident around Cade, and maybe he finally makes an All-Star leap. I'm not expecting it to be to that level with these guys, but that's possible.
Is LaMelo
the
healthy?
Hornets could be healthy. LaMelo could be one of those. Like, look around the league. There's a lot of young stars who, the old guard is really getting old with this. We know the top 3 guys in KD, LeBron, and Steph are in their twilight years, and they've been replaced by the 3 big men that have been at the top of the league, plus Shea, plus Ant, plus Luka. Who's going to be that next tier? Like, all those guys came into the league 5-6 years ago and are really hitting their prime. We should be seeing the next crop of stars start to make little leaps. That won't be the biggest leap, right? To do what like Luka and them have done this past couple of years. But you'll start to see, okay, that's the next crop of guys. In the same way we saw Luka in year 2 and 3 be first team All-NBA, we could be looking up and seeing Paolo, Wemby. Maybe it's just those 2. Maybe we limit it to that. But whoever else around the league.
J-Dub potentially.
It almost always happens.
In terms of like.
Sheesh, man.
J-Dub and Chet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's them with the Thunder, which obviously the Thunder are one of the big storylines being probably the best team in the West. Maybe it's Ant. Maybe Ant takes another big leap.
Yeah.
Like, I think those 3 are the safest ones to talk about. Paolo, Wemby, and Ant probably.
Yeah, I agree. For Anthony Edwards,
Zion.
obviously, Zion. Zion's another perfect name. You could say John Morant too. even
Ja
though
Morant.
we already know what he is. But yeah, can dude stay healthy? For when it comes, well, not stay
Hey, if
healthy.
Tyrese Halliburton,
Stay
if
normal.
he's healthy and doesn't fall off,
Tyrese Halliburton was on my list too in terms of just like there's nothing that his team can do. Same thing that can be said for the Memphis Grizzlies or the Orlando Magic at this point in time. This team already made up their mind what is the next step of their individual game to take things to another level and be one of the best at certain skill sets, which ultimately makes them one of the 3, 4, 5 best at their position. Because there's a world in where we can see Tyrese Halliburton look like a top 5 point guard. Same thing is applicable to Paolo Banchero. Same thing is also applicable to Zion Williamson. I think he's probably already is that right now, but still.
yeah.
What is that thing?
The Halliburton's a good one to focus on in this young star conversation real quick. I feel like the Pacers have a lot of people are high on them, right? Coming off of a conference finals appearance. And the narrative is they gave the Celtics the hardest push. I think Jason Tatum said that too. Which doesn't mean a lot to me personally, but they were in the conference finals. And whether or not the path there was easy, you beat who's in front of you. And even an easy path to the conference finals is not easy overall, just because it's easier than most. So there's reason to be high on them. If you trust that Tyrese Halliburton can get back to that level of early season Tyrese Halliburton for a whole year, that changes the East.
It does, because then you have what 6'8", 6'7" Trae Young in Indiana.
Yeah.
Like you have,
and we never saw that plus Siakam,
which is crazy. And then like what we were talking about earlier, then the Pacers are once again in the position where one, they're never really bad, right? They never like to bottom out, and they could be on the hunt for the next star. They could be the surprise team that goes out and makes a crazy move to go get, a Jimmy Butler, or go get somebody who can fit with Tyrese and Pascal. And now you're looking at them like, oh, wow, now you have a big three and you have surprised everybody. So the drop-off that we saw from Tyrese is so night and day. That's why I think that the Tyrese thing is so interesting, because him doing like 26 and 12 at crazy efficiency, at like Jokic efficiency, to dropping off to him not being able to make threes for the rest of the season, not really having an in-between game, and just not the same level score. Those are two like literally on the opposite ends of the spectrum. And was that like the superstar free trial that people joke about, or is his actual, I guess, like career just somewhere in the middle? We probably find an answer about that this season.
Yep. I mean, that's number 8. Wemby, Paolo, and Tyrese Halliburton are coming. 8, my bad. Number 9. Earlier, we talked about Donovan's favorite team and his favorite player in Joel Embiid, and it did not go well. It did not end in a positive way for you, Donovan. So we're going to give you a little bit of a chance to completely shift your mood and flip that frown upside down. We got to talk about the New York Knicks as the number 9 storyline, because the New York Knicks are as all in gets. Obviously, you guys went through a very dark rebuild. I think it was very unfun for several years. More than most rebuilds are, because the Knicks are the Knicks and have the standards they had, and they had particularly frustrating players, with RJ Barrett leading a young core for a little while. It was not great. There were some years, if you look back, where they were playing some despicable names. Then obviously they get competent with Jalen Brunson coming in and becoming a surprise star. And they've since put the pedal to the motherfucking metal and see blood in the water, and have made the moves to get OG, to get Mikal Bridges, and now to get Cat. They have to win a chip, right?
100%.
With the expectations of New York basketball and the talent they've accumulated?
100%.
I guess.
And I think that like
the most interesting part is, I want to ask you real quick before you go going. Do you think they have to win a chip this year? Because I think they're positioned well with the moves they made and the way they structured it. They kind of have like a 4-year window where they can keep the starting 5 together. How much pressure do you see for them to win in year 1?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say about a 6. I think that like for some people, there is an expectation that, okay, this team is ready to compete for a championship. However, I think the biggest thing is I just want to see it work. I want to see proof of concept, because once again, we went into the season with Julius Randle and with Dante and with another first round pick and some more assets that we could have traded to get somebody else. And you addressed the need for a center, and you got Cat, who has his obvious downsides as a player, but it's a massive shakeup for a team that even with basically everybody on the team hurt, was a game away from the conference finals last year. And instead of running it back and, using some continuity, you go and you bring in Cat. I think that
and Bridges, he wasn't there.
That is true. But I think that Boston is still good enough to where like the Knicks right now aren't the prohibitive favorite. So it's not like it's Knicks against the field. But you got to have some type of hope going into next season and saying like, okay, everybody did look comfortable out here. We can't be having fit issues or massive defensive issues going into next season if we don't win a championship. But they are, I'll put them in the second most inner circle to win a title. I think on the inside, it's OKC and Boston. And then outside of that, then we get to New York, Philly, Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, right? All those teams. So I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful, but I'm not expecting them to be number one seed, clear cut. The Knicks are the best team right now. They still have to prove that.
Gotcha. So you have leeway with them that if you see a good team that can be great and you see the writing on the wall, it's not broken, you know they're going to be great with time. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Do you feel like Knicks fans at large would be okay with that?
It depends how we go out, because I think
that's the biggest thing.
I think for a lot of teams, the way that you end the season shapes the way that you view that year. And if the Knicks
definitely,
and if the Knicks if they get to the first round and if they match up against, let's say that they're like the 3 seed, they match up against the Magic or the 6 seed, whatever, and they lose in 5 games, we're going to be in the offseason saying they should have never traded for Cat. They should have kept, whoever they were. The defense doesn't work. See, I told you this was a bad idea. Now you don't have flexibility. You're locked into this team. Whereas if it's a 7-game series or you get to the conference finals or something like that, then it's like, oh, this is a building block to next year. They look solid. They're one piece away. So it's like, it's not a definitive answer, but yes, it depends on how the season ends.
I'm excited to see this team, man. We talked about it on the emergency episode when it first came out. Obviously, we had a colorful reaction from you and your opinions on Karl Anthony Towns and the fact that you had to reckon with your arch nemesis who doesn't know you exist coming to your team.
That's facts.
You don't think you never seen a TikTok?
That's facts.
I don't know. Listen, like 40 million views a month. Like, there's a chance that it's come across his face, but I don't know. But
emotion.
Are you feeling better about it now after a few weeks? Because we talked about it on the stream, and obviously not everybody that watches the episodes sees the streams. I personally am feeling a little bit better about it than I felt night one. I really see the vision offensively, and I'm willing to trust the process defensively. And even if I don't love Cat defensively, I'm not really of the opinion it's going to sink them as much as I might have been night one. How are you feeling?
I'm still a little nervous, man. Like, I think that the offense, I don't think I've had a question about the offense after seeing what Jalen Brunson can do and understanding that, like, hey, if push comes to shove and everybody's hurt, Jalen Brunson can go out and get you 35 every single night and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And a lot of what made that possible is that everybody else was defending like crazy. And now when we get into a matchup with Philly, when we get into a matchup with Boston, that 1-5 combo of saying, where's Cat's man? Come up. You are in the screen now. They targeted Brunson so many times in the playoffs last year. Now to add another target on the defensive end, that's what makes me nervous because when you play high level coaches, they know exactly what to do. And so I'm interested to see how Tibbs counters that and if you're able to protect at least one of them from being the target the entire time. Because Cat, yeah, he played all right, defensively. He was next to a DPOY. Like, he's going to be the guy now. And I'm
very different role.
I'm not sure how that's going to go.
I made a tweet where I said I think this trade makes them less equipped to beat the Celtics. Some people didn't like that because they got more talented. So you think, obviously, you got a better chance of beating the Celtics. But I feel strongly that they are very, very easy for the Celtics to beat. And some people that came in the comments said, well, they were never going to beat the Celtics anyway, so that's not a good measurement. That's not really fair to them, which is true. So that was a big source of my being down on it night one was you went all in and you're trying to win. You don't stand a fucking chance in hell against the Celtics, I think. But most teams all time don't because they're that good. And I am specifically encouraged by imagining them versus the 76ers now. I think Cat at the power forward next to Mitchell Robinson against the 76ers could give them fits. Kind of doing the same thing you did to Jokic to Joel Embiid.
That's the best way to look at it. You can't like see them try to make moves to try to beat what could be looking like an all-time team like the Boston Celtics. It's all about like maximizing who you are and how good you could possibly be. And all you have to do is hope at the end of the day, like you don't see the Boston Celtics in the first, second, and wait until the third round in the conference finals.
Okay, I'll play them
that
anytime.
is the. You said what?
I said I'll play them anytime. I don't care if we have to play them.
You don't want to.
The only thing I hope is that we're not playing them in the
don't.
first round, because then that means that the regular season was bad. Bring the
Nah,
Celtics to my front door. I want to see
you
them
gotta
right
hope
now.
you don't want
I want to
those
see them right
problems.
now.
You don't want that.
I
But
wanna
you
see
need to
them right now.
hope. You need to pray to God that something bad happens and that they just are not at
We're
max
not
strength
scared
come
of
playoff time,
anybody.
and somebody else can knock them off. You need to be horrified of the Boston
Exactly.
Celtics. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
If a scenario
Horrified.
like that was to happen,
Horrified.
if a scenario like that was to happen, then the New York Knicks might be immediately the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference at that point.
I think the Celtics should make you cry, but everybody else should be food. I think you could view it as now that like everybody else in the East, soft. Like you have a good chance to match up well with any interior scoring big. You run that 2 big lineup and you can really give them trouble. If a big man has to be the playmaking hub like Joel Embiid or maybe even Giannis, Dame's gonna have to beat you. It's gonna be hard. Actually, let me not say that. They can't lock on Giannis, but you know what I mean. Like you have options. The Celtics better strike fear into your heart. I'll say that.
I fear no man. We fear no.
You better fear Jason Tatum.
I do not fear him right now. I promise you that. I
You
promise
think
you.
you crazy?
You want to
think
get
you a
really
Knicks fan is
storyline. You want to
crazy.
get real narrative-y. Who in the league fears Jason Tatum? Let's talk. Let's talk
Okay,
about
all
that.
right, all right, Kendrick Perkins,
Let's talk
whatever.
about that. Who's scared of Tatum?
He called you Kendrick Perkins. That's worse than. That's like so derogatory, bro.
He slurred me. You heard that too.
Damn near Kendrick Perkins. Ooh-wee.
Kendrick Perkins with the hard R. Perk.
Oh man.
Nah, see, there was some
All
hating
right.
hard when you said that. That was a little too close.
All right, Mo. What is the 10th and final storyline we're discussing today?
Oh man, 10th and final storyline that we are discussing today. So you could go a lot of ways. I have a few honorable mentions, but I think something also interesting are the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can keep this like roughly short. Obviously they didn't make any real moves in their roster. The biggest splash that they made was internally, like letting go of JB Bickerstaff for a coach who has been one of the better coaches when he was given the opportunity in the entire NBA, and Kenny Atkinson. The last time we saw him before this was an assistant alongside Steve Kerr. He was there for many years in Golden State, but prior to that, he was head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, and he was a part of the turnaround for that team when they're going through a very tumultuous time. And now, if you know Kenny Atkinson, you should know at least a little bit that he is he's a smart offensive coach who obviously believes in movement and all that type of stuff and can pretty much transform a lot of NBA offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it comes to what he's dealt with the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's going to be hard because at the end of the day, like, it's up to your players. It's up to your players to determine how successful you are as a coach. But if he can, at bare minimum, like, this is my favorite word, bro, just maximize every ounce of Evan Mobley, I think that's a W. But if he cannot do so and, change the way that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell bounce back off of each other, then that's an issue. But if he can, we're probably looking at a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I respect your respect for Kenny Atkinson, but respectfully, I don't think the season has anything to do with him. I think
Oh, wow.
I think that, like,
He's a last ditch hope.
Yeah.
They better hope it has
Yeah.
something to do with him.
All it
if it
is-
has nothing to do with him, then they're heading down a dark path.
all the season comes down to, and the biggest storyline with the Cavs is Evan Mobley going to be able to shoot? Because like you said, Atkinson, he can draw up some plays. He can put Evan Mobley in positions to where he can thrive as a scorer and as a shooter. But Evan Mobley is going to be the one taking the shots. He's going to be the one who has to knock it down. And if he can do that, then everything else will open up. And then we can start having talks about, okay, we can keep this core forward together. And specifically, we can keep Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on the floor at the same time. We can keep them moving forward. But if we don't see that growth from Evan Mobley, then the Cavs are probably going to be in the same situation that they were last year, where they might be a 3 seed at best, but they're going to run into one of the actual juggernauts in the playoffs, and the fit is just not going to work.
Pain.
Damn, I got nothing to say about the Cavs.
That's all it is. Can Evan Mobley hit a jumper?
No. Yeah. Honestly, Donovan Mitchell at Media Day said it's fun to come into one of these, and the first question isn't about where I'm going to play next because he's on the extension. So if it doesn't work, the attention is no longer where we're trading Donovan Mitchell, and he's happy about that. But I got some bad news for him because the attention is going to shift right around to where we trading the rest of these guys. Because if it doesn't work, we're still blowing it up. It's just not going to be D. Mitch.
Is D. Mitch? Listen, I'll start it for Donovan Mitchell right now. If they lose in the first round, is he asking for a trade? Like,
oh my gosh.
Listen, contracts don't matter anymore.
He thought he was safe from the trade machine rumors. I got some bad news for you. I'll mock a trade about anybody, whether you like it or not.
Exactly. People sign extensions and ask to be traded whenever. It does not matter in this league. So Donovan Mitchell, the rumors will fly, and trust me, I will be reading them.
When February comes around and I say Jared Allen for Trey Murphy, you better be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, you always trying to get some news to somebody. God damn. What happened to just appreciating where you are in life right now? Shout out to the Cavs.
He's in Cleveland.
I don't know why I should appreciate where the Cavs are in life right now. I see zero reason to.
Look at that. Paolo. Bucket.
That's Marcus Morris on the court right there. What the fuck?
That's
oh, man, never mind. They're fried. Never mind.
Guys.
Wow.
Yes.
It's time for Producer Corner.
Oh!
Nikhil, what do you have for us today?
All right. So just to get the elephant out the room, today is my last day as the producer for TD3.
No!
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So in about 1 hour, effective immediately, I won't be friends with you guys anymore. There will be no personal or professional relationship. It's over.
Banning you, kicking you off the island.
Exactly.
God damn, thank God. That guy sucked.
Nikhil has exited the villa.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I just realized it was time for me to hang it up. There's just physical concerns with me producing going forward. And
injury concerns?
Yeah, it's just not going to work out anymore. With that being said, man, we have a fun producer corner today. We're going to be playing Guess Who Tweeted That Tweet? TD3
Oh my
edition.
God.
TD3 edition.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Man, I was banger hunting today.
Did you pull out our old tweets?
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
man.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Listen, there were a lot that didn't make it, but y'all are some crazy guys, man.
I hope they're not too crazy.
I hope this is
No,
like
it should be
crown
okay.
eater eligible, bro.
I already am embarrassed.
What a good way to go out. What a
Yeah,
good
sure.
idea for your
Shout out
final
to the
producer
Crown Eaters,
corner.
man. This is for y'all.
Before we fucking throw you overboard, what a good way to go out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
All right, man.
Let's start it off, man. Who do we think tweeted this?
Donovan, why are you so nervous?
If LeBron gets one more ring, the conversation is over.
Donovan.
Ooh, I'll say that's Donovan.
Yeah, that
Why-
sounds.
You know
Why are you
why?
saying
Because
Donovan, Mo?
that sounds like
he
a-
used Donovan. Well, one, the all caps. That looks like a Donovan style of sentence. A comma. I don't. Mo wouldn't put a comma in the middle of a sentence. That's not his grammar bag. Also,
Not on Twitter.
Donovan had an era where he was a LeBron fan and then like shifted to a Jordan fan.
I was going back and
Our
forth.
friends.
I was going back and forth.
Yeah, our friend Will famously always talks about this, about how he switched sides. So 2018 feels like a LeBron era for Donovan.
You guys are correct.
There you go.
All right. Start. Honestly, I don't think these will be that hard, but the tweets are just hilarious. All right.
Yeah.
So next up, this Cat versus Jokic debate is about to be real interesting if he keeps performing this well.
This
That's
is
a-
Isaac.
that's
This is
100%
Isaac quoted
Isaac.
like a mug. Yeah.
And you know what? This is
The
like
way he
2015.
talks.
This is before.
Yeah.
This is before Jokic was a star. I called this shit. I was early.
Hell yeah. You
Yeah,
guys
that's
are right. Listen,
2018.
2018.
I didn't mean to say 15. That he was like a fucking second year player. But when he was coming up, before he made like an all MVP league, this is the first year he made an all-star team.
That's
It's hilarious that this is the conversation.
I remember
I was looking for
being-
embarrassing tweets on Isaac, and I searched up Jokic, and like Twitter broke, bro. It was like rate limited.
I
just too
remember
many.
I remember being like in class in like this like large like lecture hall, so like nobody's paying attention. And Isaac's looking over at me and he has like Jokic's like advanced stats. And he's like, yo, like, is he gonna make all NBA this season? Like
Oh, dude, that has
you
a
serious?
problem.
Yeah.
Did that really
He has
happen?
a
yeah, in that
problem.
like history class that we used to skip and go to Kane's.
That's hilarious. That's probably when I was making video essays on YouTube.
That was
Oh my
Yeah, man.
Lincoln,
The
you
year
want some
that was
before.
the worst class of all time, by the way. That guy, mind you, in like 2018, had the old school projectors where you had like the film and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Talk
terrible.
nonstop for an hour and a half. It was terrible.
What time
When
was
did
the
Jokic win his first MVP? Was it 2020 he won MVP? Or 2021?
2021,
was 20
I think.
Yeah, it was 21, 22, and 24. So yeah, this is 2018. That was early.
Giannis had 19 and 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people always say, Isaac, you're such a Jokic glazer, so and so. At least I'm not new to this. At least I've been here since for like
I've
6
been
years.
bouncing on
Yeah.
Almost broke my TV because of Madden.
Donovan.
That's Donovan coding
I-
like a mug.
That's
I guess.
obviously.
I don't
Donovan.
play Madden.
And
I don't know if Isaac rages like that. That's easy.
I don't know if Isaac would say it, but
I
Yeah.
mean, I make.
Yeah,
I probably
you
make
guys-
Donovan rage.
You guys show so much
we
personality in your
actually
tweets.
didn't-
It's
we didn't
almost
play
too
Madden
easy.
That much.
I know this is probably when Edwin beat you.
Ooh.
Who is that? That's July.
For the viewers, Edwin's
that's,
our old
that's July.
roommate.
I was at home. I think I was just playing
okay.
online, and some fugaziness was
This is
probably
also
going
like an 11:30 p.m. tweet because I screenshot this PST. This was late at
Oh,
night.
you're raging before bed.
bro. It was fugazi, man. It was terrible.
This was the time when you could.
Do
stay
you
up till
remember
11.
what happened exactly in that game?
No, I do not. There's I don't remember my Madden game from July 28, 2018. Which Madden is that?
skill issue?
I don't
Madden.
remember.
I would
which
guess Madden
that
18.
was.
Or yeah.
It's Madden 19. Must have just came out. Oh, actually, you probably didn't. No, it was just before. So that was 18, right before
Yeah,
19 came
it's
out.
Madden 18.
I can't
It
remember.
was like 2 weeks before
I can't
19.
remember.
I can.
All
It's
right,
a simple
next
date
up,
thing.
analytics are cool. Just don't bring that shit up in an argument with me again. I might immediately zone out. Which
I wonder
NBA
who
podcast
this is.
retweeted this?
I wonder.
That's Mo's emoji.
Yeah.
Mojo, how do you
That
feel
was
about this
skull
now, man? It's
emoji
been
was in
4
my
years.
bag.
It's been 4 years.
I appreciate analytics now. I will not absolutely zone out. Back then, I'm just like, yeah, hoopla. Like, what do they really do on the court? I was more on like Donovan's timing in terms of, are they a bucket or not? Can they play like solid defense? That's it. That's the game to me back then.
There's two sides. There's getting buckets and stopping getting buckets. It's a very simple game.
Oh my god.
Isaac's embarrassed.
That was the easiest one yet.
Just saw an old Asian man's ass in the locker room at the gym.
Okay.
Someone shoot me.
Obviously, this is Mo because Mo loves calling. Mo tells stories and he will always mention an adjective describing the demographic of the person. And sometimes I'm like, why did you need to add that? He always does.
Okay, so this happened September
September 29th.
21.
2021. I don't know.
Oh wait, no. Is this me?
I don't know if I was. I used
Listen,
to go
you
to
do
LA
say
Fitness,
ass
and
a
I never
lot.
used to go. I never
I
used
just
to
got
go
his ass.
I
to.
just know it's not me.
I would say someone shoot me, and I feel like this is ringing bells. Now. Was this
Exactly.
me?
You got
Isaac
to
did have
mention
a lot
this
of
is
kill
absolutely
me.
you. Yeah, that was not me. That was not me. Can't
Is
be.
this me?
It probably
Don,
is.
you're the final vote.
You were
here.
firing off on my ass too. This is you
I'm
like a
not.
mug.
I'll go-
Donovan, who is this?
Just because of the period, I'm gonna go Isaac.
This is me.
You're wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Thank God.
It is
Thank
Mo.
God.
Don't
Thank
reply
God.
immediately ask for
Somebody said
proof.
Oh man, I generally don't. do
Wait,
not remember
someone
this.
bookmarked the tweet.
2021. That's so crazy.
That is
Must have
short
been
for
you,
later.
Nikhil.
No, because you would see it, right? No, that's insane. Man.
That's why you took the screenshot first, and then you bookmarked after you took.
And
the
you think the number would show up after the screen? Okay, yeah, you got it.
screenshot.
Moving on. Sorry, but the man's music fucking sucks. Oh, sorry, but the man's music sucks.
You added that?
Frank Ocean features greater than his own boring ass music.
Okay.
I have. So
Frank Ocean hate.
This Is Me. The emoji gives it away, I think.
I'm
There was a
Because it'd be
very,
dark.
there was a very, that's true. But there was a very specific era where like Isaac didn't like Frank Ocean, and then one day it just like flipped, and he just like he just understood and had the epiphany. He was like, "Oh my god, is Frank Ocean like the greatest musician?"
You know what's
of our
crazy?
lifetime?
This is a thread of me hating on Blonde in 2018 when I was a freshman in college. Sophomore year of college, it clicked. Blonde is like a top 3 favorite album of mine now. Like my taste changed so dramatically.
Top
Like,
3.
and top 3 is probably selling it short. Like that's maybe my favorite album of all time now. Like it's unbelievable how much I used to slander him, and then my frontal lobe developed a little bit more, and I was like, oh, this is actually the best thing I've ever heard.
That's funny.
Dude, top 3 is insane. That's an insane switch. Wow.
Yeah, it's that to Pimp a Butterfly, and I don't know what else, but like those are like Frank Ocean is my favorite artist.
Dude, you must have like literally levitated as soon as that like started to click for you in your head. Like, oh my god, this is actually.
I had an era
harmony.
where I started taking music more seriously in general, and like became like a music nerd about like elite artists. So I stopped listening to as much Lil Uzi Vert and got into shit like Frank Ocean.
Okay.
Honestly, other than like this tweet, the rest of your 2018 tweets were pretty on brand. Like it was about Future, Kendrick, Tyler the Creator. It was pretty on brand.
Yeah.
He is who he
Okay.
is.
Good year.
He likes who he likes.
Bro, I don't care. Oh yeah, sorry. Next tweet. Bro, I don't care. Steph's mom is mad beautiful.
That's Donovan like a mug.
That is Mo.
Donovan.
What do you mean?
That is not
That's
me.
Mo.
That is
That's
not
not you.
me. I would never
No, that's
call someone
Donovan.
else's mom mad beautiful. That's not my lingo.
that's
Mad
me.
is not
You're
my
right.
bag.
You're right.
That is
Mad
Donovan
beautiful.
Cody.
Donovan says
That
mad a lot.
And plus,
Yeah.
he is a guy. We're alive, but he's a guy. He's a guy.
Yeah, if this was you,
Hey, man.
you would have had to been talking about like Tyler Hero's mom or
Hey,
something.
man.
What the fuck?
This is why Donovan was nervous, because you guys are correct. This is Donovan.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
we had a lot of discussions. Like,
He's a guy.
there's been a lot of conversations.
Donovan just
I
be
just
doing a
brought
lot
it
of
to the
noticing.
timeline.
That's
That's
all.
all I said.
Yeah.
A whole lot of noticing.
Again, a 9:30 p.m. tweet, early summer. School had just gone out. You're back home with your
Goddamn.
parents.
This is
You're like,
June
man,
3rd.
finals are on.
This is
I
June
got to get
3rd.
this tweet off.
It's June 3rd. They were probably playing. It was probably like in the finals game. They probably cut,
Yeah.
Just boring. Yeah.
They probably cut to her in the audience. I'm sorry.
And you were like, damn.
With all due respect.
He says there's
All right, next tweet. People who have a picture of themselves as their lock screen just rub me the wrong way.
That's
60
me.
likes.
That's Mo.
I wouldn't be too
Probably
sure of
Mo,
yourself.
but I concur. That's probably Mo though.
Oh, you agree?
Yes.
Mo, would
No,
you?
I definitely agree.
Mo, do you think that this is a you tweet? I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's
because I
necessarily
still
you.
feel the same exact way.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
I'm going Mo.
Mo also says "rub me the wrong way" a lot. He's like, "Just rub me the wrong way." I don't think I've ever said that.
You guys are
Mo has
familiar
like
with
5
my vernacular.
catchphrases. Yeah, and he just spams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mo has 10 verbiages that he just fucking spins a wheel and picks one.
10 stuff. Give me like 15.
Listen, you guys are like forensics experts because yeah, this is Mo, 100%.
Yeah.
And someone replied to him. They were like, "What if it's a picture of me and my wife?" And he was like, "Of course that's fine, bozo. Like, of course."
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I just see people who have pictures of themselves, like on their lock screen and also on their homepage
It just
too,
rubs you the wrong way.
something is wrong. Like something is wrong with that person. There needs to
Seek help.
there needs to be a real scientific study on this stuff, bro. There's just too much vanity going on.
It is a little strange.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Driving in GTA while blasting juice just to clear my mind.
I've heard both of you say a lot of sentences over the last 2.5 years. I have never heard a more Mojo 99 sentence than this. Blasting juice. This is
GTA?
Muhammad.
Driving in GTA is so embarrassing.
Blasting juice.
I could drive
in my
then too.
mind.
I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's going on with me. I had a license.
Just clearing his mind is hilarious.
Yeah.
When you stop at
I
red
probably
lights,
No, facts.
nah.
Yeah, he was for sure.
I probably had a mean 9 out of 10 on my dying YouTube channel back then, and I was like, "Fuck, man, it's over." What am I gonna do next? I graduate soon.
So you turn off the GTA radio and just play your own music?
Yeah, dude, you listen to GTA music? You actually like appreciate the music they have preset on GTA?
No, some of the stations weren't bad. I mean, especially if you're in that mindset. Like you tweeted this out like 11 or 12. Like if you're in that mindset, yeah, just like let like the station rock, steal a couple cars.
You were listening to All Girls Are the Same in 2020, just fucking feeling it.
I was in my zone, man. Got me through some times.
Next up, BK has tacos. I can't associate with them anymore.
Donovan.
Whose big bag tweeted this?
What? Wait.
It's either me me and Donovan both liked Burger King a lot, and we would like defend it in college. I remember when we were in college, we would always do like brackets of all sorts with our friends.
And they do call you Taco Man.
Everybody, that too. Everybody shit on Burger King except for me and Donovan. So I could see either one of us feeling the need to disassociate after a strange decision relating to tacos.
People didn't understand that Burger King is like that. Like it's very underrated.
A Whopper is quality.
That's what I'm saying. Very good.
On my drive to DC with Nikhil, we stopped by and had Burger King. I had Burger King for the first time in like a year or whatever. Top
Very
tier,
solid.
like I thought it was. Yeah,
I will say
Top
I don't like
tier's
it
a
anymore.
stretch, but
So
very solid.
I kind of shifted. I kind of switched up the past year.
Wait, what?
I don't think
You
I like it
didn't
anymore.
inform me about this.
I think I'm off. I'm off it.
no.
I don't need a lot.
over
I don't
here.
need a lot of fast food burgers at all anymore. But like, I hate their fries and I hate their chicken. Besides chicken fries,
The original chicken sandwich, I just had one the other day. Still holds up.
Keep it.
It's
Keep
great.
it.
You don't like that?
Dude,
Keep
when we're driving to New York, we're gonna force him to go ahead and have some Burger King.
oh no, you're gonna force me to eat a hamburger.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that's a hill he'll die on.
Ah! How dare you?
This is Isaac. That's my guess. Whoa.
No, it's Donovan.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is indeed Donovan.
Did they really have
The first
tacos?
reply was immediately. That's what did it for you.
Shout out, Ross. I mean, yeah.
Did you try the tacos from there?
Listen, they did. Burger King has gone through a lot of phases, and
Identity crisis.
listen, they've tried a lot of things. They've thrown a lot of stuff at the wall. When they start selling the horse meat tacos, that's when you know that they're going downhill. And I thought that
Horse meat tacos.
I was very scared for the business plan of Burger King. I didn't know what was coming next.
Dude, you want to talk about identity crisis? Last night I went to 7-Eleven after I went to the gym, and I wanted a sugar-free slushie, and I saw that they have
You
a
got taquitos.
Coca-Cola zero sugar Oreo flavored slushie.
Yeah.
Oreo.
I said, "What in the blue moon? Let me try that." I got it. Well, that shit hit. Oh my god, that's that new thing. That shit hit. That shit is different. It's so cool. It's smooth.
That's old.
Yeah,
No, facts.
god damn.
All right, let's get a couple more of these going.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Skittles spelled with a Z and hot fries sound amazing for lunch.
That is Isaac.
2014
That's Isaac.
tweet.
Yeah,
Isaac.
that is Isaac. That's
I
a
know.
crayon eater's diet right there to the T.
I
This is
know
what they
a
eat
clean
in
lunch
and
when I
out.
see it.
Keep in mind, this is 2014.
He was in second
14.
period, bro.
I was 14
guys are right.
years old. I was a freshman in high school.
At 10 a.m. He's talking about Skittles and hot fries. I know.
Yo, your stomach was burning
Bro,
after
if you
that.
don't
Oh
just
my
get a burger
God.
for lunch.
Dude, I was 14 years old. I was on Twitter just saying
You said
random
sounds
bullshit.
amazing.
Who's this for? Who's I talking to?
Nobody.
Them.
Skittles and hot fries,
Oh
right?
man.
Yeah.
Did you say a Colleen legend? Is that what you said?
Oh, 100%. The DNA's there without the profile picture. We could tell. Listen, next up.
This is Mo.
The Nets
is
got to
Mo.
find someone who can penetrate consistently.
The fact
You guys
the
all
thing
know
is,
hoops.
Mo. The fact that
Two tweets in a row.
Exactly.
2 tweets in a row of Mo have had a random capitalization where it doesn't belong. I'm gonna go ahead and bet this is a third miscapitalized word in penetrate. for Mo.
However, I don't think this was a mistake. I think he meant to capitalize penetrate because it's a joke. So, but I am going Mo.
You guys are correct. And honestly, the more I think about it, I feel like like the way the iPhones work is he started the word with like the sentence with penetrate. He's like, I need to find a way to get this in. And then he put the rest of the sentence around it. He's like, man,
He
this
had
one's
a
gonna
root
bang.
word. He reverse engineered a tweet to get penetrate off.
Exactly. Listen,
And it
for
worked.
43 likes.
43 likes.
Nice.
What's your threshold, Mo? If this got like under 5 likes, would you delete it?
I wouldn't delete tweets unless it was crazy. Nah.
Okay. All right. Isaac, I want you to answer this one. All right. This is a 2014 tweet. March Madness and chicken?
I'm not sure if they were on Twitter back then. Is this automatically me? No, I don't. I'm assuming this is March Madness. Oh, it's college basketball because it's March, so I wouldn't say this. So probably
No,
Donovan.
this is probably you.
Is this-
I'm leaning towards you.
I have no
Wait,
idea.
Isaac's
I
never been a
honestly
college
feel
basketball
all
guy,
three of
though.
us could have written this.
Yeah.
I
March
didn't. I never
Madness
really
and
fuck with March Madness. Maybe in 2014 I watched March Madness, but I don't care about college basketball.
It's the chicken that's getting
Yeah,
you.
he just wanted Skittles.
Oh, I'm the one where chicken jumps off the page.
Listen, you are a very big chicken advocate. So
Isaac, it's
I'm
on
the
you.
chickeny.
I don't
Listen,
know.
You can
I don't
make
know.
the guess.
I'll go Donovan.
It's up to
I'm
all
going
three of
Isaac.
us.
All right, Don, you. Who's your answer?
I guess is this me? Is me? Yeah.
March
don't
Madness
listen.
and chicken.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Isaac,
Every
your
now and
profiling
then
works.
The thing about stereotypes.
Because I know it wasn't like fried chicken or anything. I just need to know where, like, what kind of chicken I was eating.
Probably
See,
pollo.
I knew it was you because it was 2014. If it was 2018, you had several frontal lobe developments that you would know better than to tweet
That is
chicken.
true. That is true. Yeah. That will be deleted.
Wait, you actually have that tweet up too?
I don't.
Yeah, that's how I found it.
I didn't know I have this tweeted up from 2014.
God damn. March Madness and
chicken.
chicken.
All right, next up. I just had a heated debate with someone about how Toy Story is a better film than The Lion King.
That's Isaac.
Let's
Coded
rapid
like a
fire
mug.
this.
Isaac, easily. Who would have a heated debate
That's
about?
me. That's me.
Ooh,
No, it's
That's
not. It's
you.
me.
Interesting.
No, I think this is Isaac. I think it's Isaac. Isaac
remember
likes to
this.
yap
This is
about
me.
anything.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
has to
me.
be
I
Isaac.
used to argue with people also about how Toy Story was great. So
And one
You're right. He kept talking to himself in the replies. He said,
Toy Story
and I
3.
one-handedly.
One like. Shout out to that one follower who always supports
Exactly.
anything.
Shout out.
It's probably-
Next up, no cap. I was called Mini Shack at the park. Stop playing with me.
That was Donovan like a mug. He said no cap.
I'm so
So
over
lame.
Can we please end this, please? Can we
Just a handful more.
This
Just a
is
handful
true
more.
though. This is true. I listen again. My game is very much
It was Donovan.
based on post ups, and there have been moments where I have dominated in the post, and so
Nah,
I
yeah,
was,
stop-
I
look
was
at-
called this.
Listen, you're not playing around, man.
No,
You're coming different.
no. The post is right. Y'all know who I like pattern my game at.
All right. Listen, every time you try and put somebody on game, they try and act like you're the dumb one. Crazy. Tweeted
This
April,
Mo
or
ass tweet.
April
I have
23rd,
no
2020.
idea.
Peak lockdown tweet with 0 likes. Talking about putting people on game. Who is this?
This is the last thing I would ever fucking say. Put someone on game. What the fuck I look like saying put someone on game?
I have no idea.
I think it's.
if I tweeted this or not.
I think it's.
Mo.
I think it's.
Let's get the
Mo.
guesses out.
I think it's
think
Mo,
it's Mo?
but I wouldn't be
Mo, who do you
surprised
think
if
it
it
is?
was me.
I would say Donovan.
Donovan wouldn't sign off a tweet with crazy. I don't think this is
Yeah.
a Mo thought.
I guess he wouldn't.
Yeah!
That's what I'm saying. I don't think.
There we go.
I wouldn't
It's
be
lockdown
shocked.
ass
There we
tweet.
go.
Was this ironic or was it?
I don't
serious?
remember it. So this is like, this is April of
You were just
2020.
fucked up in the crib during peak COVID lockdown. You're like, motherfuckers never want to learn.
I mean, listen,
don't know
people
about
don't. I'd be trying to spit out game. People don't. They don't take advice. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
putting
what
someone on
happened.
game now.
I was in
I'm
Austin
not-
at the time though, so I can't remember what was going down.
I do, but we will not talk about it. Next one.
Moving on. Bro, I just saw this professor at my school leave the bathroom without washing his fucking hands. October 22nd,
Mojo 99.
2018.
Mojo 99. I am telling you, he's always talking. This is Mojo 99.
I remember this exact moment too.
Also, what did you screenshot this on?
It was actually just taken like 10 minutes ago on Mac. I don't know why Twitter showed up like this.
These bootleg ass emojis.
Mo, tell us about the moment real quick.
Exact moment. This is my third month into school, and I remember I had a professor. Was having a conversation with him until he went into the bathroom. He went into the stall, and I had to go back into the bathroom because I think I forgot my phone in this somewhere. I left my phone somewhere, and I see him again. I'm like, okay, cool. He was blowing that bitch up. I went to the bathroom twice. It smelled different the first time compared to the second time. I was like, yo, this motherfucker nasty. Okay, cool. He walks past by me again. In order to walk past by me, I have to walk past by the sink too. Walks past by me and the sink. That's where the issue initially occurred. All right, and then I see him pull out the sanitizer and just squirt it on his hand. He was like, let's get the job done. You disgust me. You disgust me. And then he carried on with his day. So this is definitely me. I remember.
I don't even know how I found this tweet, man. What a gem.
Professor Hawkins, you're disgusting. You're watching this now. I remember this.
All right, final tweet. Due to constant injury, I'm officially announcing my retirement from the yearly Thanksgiving football game.
This is easily me.
That's Donovan.
This is
Obviously Donovan.
It's very obviously Donovan.
This is the super Donovan thought.
This is me.
Listen, Donovan, 2018, you got 19 likes. This is probably a highlight of your year on Twitter.
This is like pin-worthy, damn near.
And look who's in the replies. Nobody other
Look
than
at that.
Isaac.
A true friend.
I said R.I.P. to a storied career.
true
Truly
friend.
the end of an era.
Nah, man, I kept twisting my ankle. This stuff was annoying, bro. We were out here playing on concrete. I'm twisting it. I had to stop. It was terrible. But yes, shout out to a real friend.
What position did you play during Thanksgiving football?
I played everything.
Oh my god.
God damn, okay.
All right, listen.
Superstar.
And that's it. That's the final producer corner. I hope you guys aren't too embarrassed. But yeah, thanks, y'all.
It's been a joy.
You had a
It's
great
been
run.
journey.
Storied career.
Yeah,
Exactly.
time
We
to
still
hang
had
it
to
up.
cut you though. We still listen. We have injury. We can't hold that kind of salary with the fucking bum ACL. You gotta get
I
your
did
ass.
it.
Second
Nah,
ape
listen,
Business is
crazy.
a business.
Gotta hang the
But-
mic up.
You might see your rafters, or you might see your jerseys in the rafters one day.
Listen,
Congratulations.
that and some crayons. I can't ask for any more.
You have any last words? You want to go out for the last time of TU3 history? Do you want to go out and tell the fans one word?
Just thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mad wholesome.
Lame as hell.
All right.
dramatic ass. Welcome to TikTok time.
Woo, get the fuck out! Back on business.
Welcome to TikTok time. Today we're going to begin with a fun game. You know, we've done a lot of guess the NBA player by a variety of sources. We've done noses, we've done haircuts, we've done mouth, we've done voices, we've done it all. This time we're going to combine it. And voice got stretchy. I'm joking. But we're going to combine them. I zoomed in on random parts of NBA players' faces.
Okay.
You're going to tell me who the player is.
All right.
I think this one's harder than usual. I think it's extremely difficult, but I don't know. Maybe you guys will surprise me.
Well, Donovan, you know what they call me. Let's see if it actually lives up.
We got the man knower in the building. Listen.
Yeah, this is the
step
ultimate
up.
test of the man knowing abilities of Mojo 99.
Step up. Team needs
Did you just see a fly or something?
Team needs you.
Who, me?
Oh yeah, I saw you like jolt. But I guess you're reaching for the crayons. I look like you're
Yeah.
finna fight a fly.
Yeah, no, I need all my powers to come through so I can defeat this TikTok. Let's fucking go.
All right, man. So real simple. Can you tell me which NBA player this is? First off, who is this player?
I think I already have a name in my head for some reason.
Already? Immediately?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
immediately. Does he play for an LA team?
Right now, yes.
Terrence Mann.
Incorrect. That's a good guess, though.
Ooh, okay. He plays for
Solid,
an
solid.
LA team.
Oh,
and it's not
is this?
Terrence Mann. Okay.
Is this James Harden?
Oh,
Yeah,
it
this is
Harden.
Brooklyn James Harden.
Okay.
I
wow.
thought this was difficult. I can't believe you guys got that so fast.
Listen.
This.
No
Okay.
disrespect, but the headband is kind of high. So
All right, man.
you start
Next player.
Start taking notes. Oh, that's Austin.
Who is this player?
That's easy. That
Ew.
is easy. That is Austin
Yeah.
Reeves.
This
Damn.
man Mo, God, he loves throwing it at you.
I mean,
There's no filter on that fucking
you
brain.
just threw some teeth onto the.
Yeah,
screen,
what do you
like-
expect me to say? I just see some pale man with like a saggy chin and some like frail teeth.
He's going.
Ew.
All right, next one.
He's
See,
going OD.
the filter gets even worse. God, let's put a mute button on him. Next one. This is Austin Reeves. Who is this player?
See, now I don't
Oh my
even
God.
think this is a player.
It's not. I mean, it used to be.
I know this.
He was a
looks
lot
like-
of things in his career.
Looks like a coach.
Man of many talents.
Looks like a podcaster. Looks like a color analyst on the ESPN. Is this JJ Reddick?
This is JJ Reddick.
In your bag.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're locked in.
This is
Oh,
the
look
this is
at
the
him.
easiest one. So, yeah, look how serious he looks. You should have stared into your fucking soul. He's staring the power of God into your life.
Man, he's ready, bro. You don't understand how hard it is to go ahead and get these takes off while Stephen A. Smith is bringing it out.
Why is he staring like this? What is he doing?
He said ethical hoops. Come on.
This is great. Look at him. He's so intense.
What take do you think he's? Is this around like NBA Finals ish? I don't know
Yeah.
what.
Has to be.
Yeah.
He's locked in.
Yeah, nah. He
Okay.
pulled out the meanest
okay?
PER stat. Can't wait to get that shit off.
You guys are flying through this so far. Apparently, they've been too easy. Let's see if it gets harder. Next up,
Okay. Let's see.
this is pixelated. This better be difficult.
It is pixelated to death. This is done on purpose.
Some people. You know what? I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna guess that this
Detective?
is Kawhi Leonard.
Incorrect. No.
It's not a bad guess though. Is this LeBron James?
No.
Damn.
No, I mean,
Okay.
listen.
No Kawhi.
Once
no
you-
LeBron.
Once you find out who it is, you're gonna be like, oh, it's not that hard.
See, that's
Damn. Is this Derek Favors? God damn. I don't know.
this is honestly out of the ones outside of like The Voice, this feels like one of the hardest that we've done.
Is Jimmy Butler?
Nope, not Jimmy Butler. He's played with Jimmy Butler before though.
Is this Joel Embiid?
This is Joel Embiid.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That's
that
the
was
hardest one
hard.
yet.
That was genuinely
That was
hard.
tough.
I was gonna say fucking I don't know Evan Mobley before Jimmy Butler, but okay, there you go.
All right, we'll see if we can get harder. Next one. Who is this player?
They got
Sweaty
a,
ass.
They
forehead.
got a dome.
Putting in work. That sweat's crazy.
Oh wait,
Okay.
wait.
I have two guesses.
I have a guess as
Really,
well.
one.
Go with your
That-
guess.
That front taper is screaming at me. Could this be Jay Crowder?
This is not Jay Crowder. I see what you fucking mean though. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
this is yes. The forehead is very shiny. It's very glistening. But if you look carefully at that hairline and at that hair, you can tell it's not doing well, right? That hairline has some enhancements. I think this is. Oh wow! Well, that is not who I thought it was.
Wow.
This man ruined
He
it.
did, but I was going to guess Jaylen Brown. So what's good?
No.
Oh my god. All right, it was Jaylen Brown.
God damn it, to kill.
What were you gonna say, LeBron?
Yeah,
I was gonna say CP3.
Damn, could have had that soundbite. Fuck.
yeah. I thought it was.
Damn it. All right, next one. Who is this player?
I know who exactly this is. Screaming for a foul like a mug. Ain't nothing happened to you. No one touched you, brother. This is Jordan Poole on the Washington Wizards.
This is Jordan Poole.
Oh damn, maybe he is getting fouled. Never mind.
He's getting hounded.
He's getting hacked, wrapped around. D'Anthony Miller, this football. Damn.
He's reaching for something. He wants that ball. Next
one?
up. Who is this player?
What the? I can't even see. This is pixelated like crazy. Honestly, it feels like
Scotty Barnes.
he's light.
That's Scotty Barnes.
He's
Damn.
light.
He's biting his lip.
Biting his lip. Who's he's light?
Detective Don, I need you in the building. I need you in the building right
His lights get out of control.
I don't know.
Who are these light skins?
Okay.
All right. Listen,
Could
we
this
have,
be-
we have to go through the exercise. Let's start naming all the light skins we know. Tatum,
Tyrese Halliburton.
Booker,
Neither of those players.
Halliburton, Trey Young, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson.
Oh, it might be Jalen Brunson. No, it's not. Damn.
This is not fucking Jalen Brunson.
It's not. Who is that thin little mustache like that? I have no idea, man.
Could it be DeJounte Murray?
It cannot be.
This is John Morant.
Okay.
This is once again Jordan Poole back to back.
The ultimate light skin. You should have known.
glad.
See, that's a
Ew.
trick. I didn't know we were doing doubles. Okay, that's good. I see.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
see how you play.
Gotcha. What a face. What a guy.
Mating. Ultimate mating face.
It's like a peacock.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Who is this player?
Hey, man.
This is not good for narratives one
I'm not
bit.
trying to be disrespectful here.
But you know who this is, Detective Donovan.
Yes,
Tell us.
Yes, I do. This is Luka Doncic himself.
Luka Doncic. Yep, this is Luka Doncic.
Oh, this is so bad. Angles are so deceiving. Damn.
Next player.
God,
Who is this player?
oh my God.
Why you say God like that?
The eye threw me off, man. It's wild. It just looks crazy.
The yellow?
Yeah, it looks like Michael Jordan's eyes.
Oh, yeah. Whoever this is, he might be hanging out with Michael Jordan, bro. He has so much whiskey and bourbon in his stomach. Damn.
Is
Nothing
this
but bourbon and cigars. This is a player who does a whole lot of, yeah, it has to be Bol.
This is Bull.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, no further comments. Next one.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's the last one. Y'all flew through that. Only one that gave you trouble was Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
It was also crazy pixelated. All right, next thing we're going to do. Donovan, I believe you have some bold predictions for us that we are going to proceed to shit on.
Yes, I need to know what you guys think about these bold predictions for the upcoming season. So, I want you guys to rate these bold predictions from 1 to 10. Okay.
So tell you if they're trash or not.
Yep. 10 being 100% going to happen. 1 being you're stupid. Don't you ever talk about basketball again.
Are these your opinions or did you draw these from the internet?
Just in the NBA ether.
That's his.
No.
Massive.
He'll claim the good
Listen.
ones and say he got the bad ones from Twitter.
It's a nice balance. It's a nice balance. First one, Cam Thomas will be top 5 in scoring this season.
No.
4, I doubt that. But can it be top 10? I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of shots to be taken.
Who were the top 10 scorers from last season? What was that? Well, who was at 10? Was it like 26, De'Aaron Fox or something like that? Probably.
Yeah, it was something like, listen, Cam Thomas knows that the game is about a bucket, at least to him, right? That's all he cares about. And there are buckets to be had, shots to be taken in Brooklyn, because once again, they are the latest team that is going to be money laundering. They're going to be playing fake basketball, and somebody has to throw up shots. I think Cam Thomas has a pretty decent chance at doing this. I think we can go to about 5.
I mean, there might have been 5 30-point per game scorers last year. Top 5 is very hard to get into.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you discount efficiency and just say, can you put up the raw numbers? Maybe.
I could see him being like the 9th through 11th scorer of the league this year. I think Cam Thomas might average 24.5 points per game or something like that.
I don't think 24.5 is good enough to be top 10 in the year 2024, 2025. So I'm going to say 0.
Wow.
Okay, 0.
Okay.
Terrible take. Fuck off.
All right. Next one. The Los Angeles Lakers will be a top 3 team in the Western Conference.
Ooh. JJ Reddick effect. Damn.
The three is hard. If we're going to say the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and who's the third team I'm missing?
Nuggets.
Are sure Grizzlies?
Grizzlies?
OKC.
That's like 5 teams right there that could be
Yeah.
top 3. Are we sure the Lakers can be better than any of those teams? I don't know.
I don't know.
It could be better
I'll give
than
you a
the
3.
Timberwolves.
I'll give you a 3, not a 0, because I think it's possible, but I'm not gonna go in expecting it.
Yeah, let's say 3.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Listen. JJ Redick might be the next great coach, and we could be surprised that we finally see a coach that's competent enough to have an elite team because you have 2 stars. he can do all the things Darvin Ham didn't want to do, I won't be shocked.
Okay. Next one. The Charlotte Hornets will make the playoffs.
So get out of the play-in?
Yes. They at the start of the playoffs, they will be one of the 8 teams in the Eastern Conference.
If they're healthy, they should be a playoff team. Like they're good enough to be in the 7 or 8 and be in the play-in. But are they going to stay healthy? The data says absolutely fucking not. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10.
Yeah. They have to be better than the Indiana Pacers, and the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic, and I don't think they're clear cut better than those guys. Other than
I think they're clear cut worse than those guys. They're clear cut worse than all of those teams.
Yeah, so I'm going to give this a kind 2.
A kind
2. Okay.
I'm going to call you freaking stupid, but I'll be nice about it.
I'm just going to say that you might be empty-headed a little bit. That's all.
Not dumb, just absent of thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Next one. Victor Wembanyama will be first team All-NBA.
Woo! Hey,
that's hot.
6 out of 10. I don't think it's crazy. I think I would expect him to be second team All-NBA. If you're good enough to be second team, you're a stone throw away from first team. It's not impossible.
Nikola Jokic has been known to be an Iron Man throughout the entirety of his NBA career. His team has continuously gotten worse. If he gets hurt at any time, this may be the season for it. I'm not wishing for it.
It's positionless.
If he does, you're right. It is positionless. I don't know. I still can't sell myself on that because Giannis exists, bro. You can overtake Giannis.
Luka Doncic was first team All-NBA in year 2. I'm not saying he will progress as fast as Luka did, but I'm also not saying he won't. It's certainly possible.
I think he might be. If he does, he's taking Tatum's spot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang. Tatum wins a chip and continues to get disrespected. You hate to see it.
Would you look at that?
Exactly. All right, next one. Zion Williamson wins MVP of the league. We get the craziest Zion breakout year known to man.
The only way Zion wins MVP is if the Pelicans are 1-2 seed in the NBA and that man is putting up 29-30 in the most electrifying way possible. And I think the Pelicans are going to be trash. 0.
That man is starting next to Daniel Tice. He better put up a Herculean effort if he's going to win an MVP. He better have the most ridiculous season I've ever seen. I'm going 0, but this might be my favorite outcome to win the MVP. If you think about all the storylines possible, Zion winning it out of nowhere would be the best one.
He did say that he's coming for blood this year. He's doing his all to go ahead and change everything up, bro.
Maybe blood sausage.
All right. Next one. Trae Young gets traded mid-season.
Oh, turn it up. Let's go. Give me a 6 out of 10. I love it.
Y'all were saying this is going to happen all last season during the summer. Trae Young is super happy, hanging out with the rooks, being a true vet. This is not happening.
Hey, we were wrong. I'll take that. But what do you do when you get knocked down? You get up and you try again. We're speaking it back into existence. Trae Young, you're going to be a Laker. You're going to be a Spur. You're going to be something that's not a Hawk.
Trae's happy in Midtown Atlanta, all right? He enjoys the belt line.
Listen, it could happen. You just brought in the number 1 pick. They may finally suck and be worse than mid. And Trae Young might look around and be like, yeah, I'm over this. Or the Hawks might finally want to commit to a rebuild. It could happen. I'm going 7 out of 10, honestly.
He is not looking at Jalen Johnson's eyes and be like, you know what? I'm leaving you. They meant to be together. They go together.
They're locked in.
All right. Yeah. Next one. Russell Westbrook wins 6th man of the year.
Hell no. 0.
No belief in Russ?
Well, hold on.
I grew up being told if I have nothing nice to say, not to say anything. So I think we should move on to the next one.
Oh. Damn.
Disrespectful. Next one. Jason Tatum wins the scoring title.
0.
I mean, it's possible if KP's going to miss a lot of time, maybe, but they have so many options. I don't know if they would ever really need him to put up that many shots.
Do you know how many points you need to put up in order to be scoring title in this day and age? Luka put up 33 last year or something like that?
I understand, but listen, Jason Tatum was disrespected all last year. What if his jumper comes back and he's on a mission? He's on his, Jason Tatum revenge tour. Can he be the scoring leader?
Him gunning for the scoring title might be detrimental to his team.
I think
So I
Joe
don't think
Mazzulla
so.
would rather vomit than watch him take enough shots to win the scoring title.
Yeah.
You hate to see that about your best player, but I get it.
No, it's just not conducive to how they want to play.
And then
Yeah.
last one, the Detroit Pistons win 25 games.
You're asking for a lot.
That's 30% of their games.
Slow your roll. You're asking for a lot.
They won 14 last year. You don't think you could, win a little bit over 10 more?
You're asking for a lot.
All right, we will revise that. The Detroit Pistons win 20 games.
You are asking for a lot.
I'll change it again. The Detroit Pistons win 17 games.
10 out of 10. I think they win exactly 17 games.
All right, cool. Book it. All right, that's all I got.
I hope they're good, man. I'm kidding. I hope they're better. I really hope Monty Williams was the problem.
They got no choice but to be better, bro.
20 games
14
is crazy.
Facts.
better.
20 games is why. If they get to 21 games, that's 25% of their games. 1 out of every 4. You can't do that?
Yeah, I remember they're historically ass last year too. Didn't they like come close, or did they break the like losing record?
They
in
did.
the
broke
NBA?
it.
Yeah, they won like 27 straight.
Ooh, man, it's tough.
Historic ass is so funny.
Wingstop. Wingstop was like, yeah, we don't want your money.
We
We can't be
do.
associated.
All right, next thing we're gonna do, we've done a new segment we've been doing recently. Is I've been telling you guys a player's name, and you guys have told me who's better between them and other players, and we did 5 levels to see where they rank among their contemporaries. We're gonna do that again today, but we're gonna do it with teams. Specifically, the first team we're gonna do it with is the Golden State Warriors. So I'm gonna name 5 different levels of NBA teams, and you're gonna tell me if the Golden State Warriors are better or worse than each level.
Okay.
Woo, Warriors in the trenches this year. This is gonna be tough.
Very tough. So, which team will be better next year? The Golden State Warriors or this team I name? Level 1, the Detroit Pistons.
As long as Steph is breathing, they can never be worse than the Pistons.
Okay, listen, we had to start somewhere easy. I feel safe to say that the Warriors will win at least 16 games to be more than the Pistons won last year.
Warriors fans, you guys are safe.
You got to win on the board. I don't know how many times it's going to happen this season, so cherish it. Level 2, we got the San Antonio Spurs.
Already is getting dicey.
Oh, God.
Already. I think, now listen, asking the Spurs to go from like 22 wins to 40 wins, that's a big, big jump. So I will say the Warriors right now, but understand, you both will be fighting for the 10 seed.
It's going to be a battle.
This is the real race in the Western Conference right here. Who's
If I see
qualified
2
to make
weeks,
the play?
if I see 2 weeks of successful Chris Paul to Victor Wembanyama lobs, my answer might change. But for now, I'm going the Warriors.
Draymond and Steph, you live to see another day.
Level 3, we have the Houston Rockets.
I think this is where they fail. This might be where they fail.
Listen,
I get it. The Rockets, it's really easy to project the Rockets to get better because they have so many young guys. You're like, damn, one of them will turn into a star eventually. But they are still a young team. I don't know.
They're a young team, but the Warriors got probably worse compared to how they did last year. And last year, they weren't even that impressive.
And the Rockets almost took their playing spot. Like, it was a close race at the end of the season when Sengun was hurt.
I'm
Yeah.
still going to – I still have to go Steph. I still have to go Steph and the Warriors real quick. I'm going with them.
Wow.
I'll go with the Warriors too, but only to extend this video. I don't really believe it.
It's going to be
It's
a
close.
1-game difference between the Warriors and the Rockets this season.
It was only like
That's
4
fair.
last year or something like that. So it might be clips.
This is going to be a battle. Okay. Level 4. Can the Warriors make the Cinderella run? We got the Los Angeles Lakers.
This is
Hell
where, This is
no.
where it ends. This is where it ends. The Lakers, even as mid as they were last season, still have 2 top 10 players on their team. The Warriors have Steph Curry, and that's it. And a whole bunch of guys who they're
Being the
just
definition of
standing
mid.
around and just being like, I hope you turn into a star. It's not happening.
I would rather be the definition of mid than ass. So give me the Lakers.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lakers taking this home.
Wow. And that's the end of the Warriors part. We have another team in the slideshow. Level 5 was the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah.
We all knew goddamn well they were never getting there.
Last year when Draymond tried to fight Anthony Edwards, and Ant was like, man, go on somewhere. We knew. It was over. It was done.
Tough times, man. All right. We have another team, though. we're going to do the same thing with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
Oh, word?
Doubling up.
Yeah, doubling up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this hate
So,
off.
level 1, the Charlotte Hornets.
They got him. You could have that, Philly. It's okay.
This is the
I'm gonna give
wash.
an easy dub out first.
This is the wash. Not
Okay.
even close.
Okay, level 2. Are we closer if we say the Atlanta Hawks?
I hate to say that is a wash, but sadly, it is a wash again.
They
What, you don't believe in Quinn Snyder?
They
Jalen
cleared-
Johnson? The number 1 pick? The
I
number 3
love
pick?
Reza. I love Jalen Johnson. Trae Young, you are my king, but you do not stand a chance in Joel Embiid's palace. Not even close.
His palace?
Yeah. Don't stand a chance looking up to Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. They got Caleb Martin now. Kyle Lowry's
Oh,
still
Caleb
there.
Martin.
If you're a Celtics fan, then you would feel those ways genuinely.
Facts. Okay, obviously level 2 is a dub. Level 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They're running it up right now.
running it up.
Yes, the Celtics are the 76ers are running it up right now. This is not I don't want to say not close, but
No, we have to have a
Sixers, yeah.
conversation. We have to have a conversation.
No, we don't. They're listen,
a short one.
We do
maybe.
not. Yeah, the conversation is, oh, I kind of like the Cavs this year. Maybe they'll be sneaky. Oh, wait, they still have 2 bigs I can't shoot. Never mind. Give me the 76ers.
The Cavs.
Yeah.
Let me check, because I think that they did. The Cavs were 2 games. Actually, they did not, but they were 2 games away from winning 50 games last season, and they had their own injury issues as well. Like, they're also a good team, and if we're talking just regular season, yeah, I might take the Cavs over the Sixers.
I think the Cavs will be very good. I think the Cavs will be good. I think the 76ers will be great.
Call it.
It's just going to be a different tier, I think.
When we get to the end of the season, I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all call me a madman, but when it happens,
If the Cavs win more games than the Sixers, something went terribly wrong, and we're going to have discourse.
Yeah.
prepare to yap. Like, something's gonna happen.
Okay, level 4. The Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, they got that.
Ooh, this is close.
I really don't believe in Milwaukee this season.
What?
It's really easy to bet on the new big 3 we haven't seen versus the big 2 that we saw fail. So it's hard to have faith in the Bucks.
For me personally, I think it might end here, and I'm all on the Giannis train again, looking for vengeance.
I'm on the opposite side. I'm going with Philly.
Philly might be
Okay.
prioritizing Joel Embiid and load managing him through the entirety of the season.
Milwaukee
Giannis
might
just
be doing the
running through
same.
straight teams.
I'll go with the 76ers just so we can watch them crash and burn at level 5 against the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, pack that up. It's over.
It's
over.
over.
You're not beating
These
them.
are the NBA
Get them out of
champions.
here. No team in the East stacks up to the Celtics right now. It's them versus the world.
Yeah, the
I'll see you
Celtics'
opening night.
biggest.
Especially not the Knicks.
I'll see you opening night. You'll see.
Okay,
all see.
whatever.
The wall see. Yeah, right,
you'll
whatever.
all see.
And that's the end of that. Last thing we got today. Mo, I believe you have some geographical content for us.
Ooh, yes. I remember over the last few years, people in general like to sit down and argue, oh, no, we got the best hoopers in Atlanta. Nah, Texas got the best hoopers. Oh, no, blah, blah, blah. New York got the best hoopers. Well, we're going to try to put not an end to the conversation, but just have more direction when it comes to these conversations. And right now I have each state's all-time starting lineup full of Hall of Famers and the best hitter that they're actually that they produced.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me which state has the better all-time lineup.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so first up, we got LA. LA's so deep. We have Jason Kidd, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Bill Walton versus New York, Bob Cousy, Michael Jordan. He was actually born there, bro, and he was raised in North Carolina. So, and NYC gets to claim him. Julius Erving, Carmelo Anthony, and Kareem.
Okay, so when we have MJ on here because he was born there, it's a bit cheating because he wasn't actually from there. But I still think they might lose even with MJ.
Woo! Julius Erving,
Melo.
Melo, and Irving, and Kareem is
Shout
disgusting.
out Melo. Him and Bob Cousy might be the worst 2 players here.
But are they bad enough to like?
I guess you can give Melo
Take
over Paul
Kareem and
George, but
MJ.
I don't know if it's a big gap. Peak Bill Walton is giving Kareem a run for his money.
What? Listen, we can go LA purely off of the strength of Jason Kidd versus Bob Cousy. The rest of this, there's Michael Jordan and Kareem on one side.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know. But the fit is so much worse. Like, if it's an actual team, you got a lot of bucket getters, not a lot of anything else.
It's the Clippers
LA team kind of
on the other side.
The LA team makes sense. You give the Clippers Jason Kidd. We said they need a point guard. You give them the point guard and Bill Walton. They're going to go crazy.
Fit-wise, LA is so smooth, but I don't know.
It's not.
I think you're undermining Bob Cousy and his
It's not even
connectivity.
smooth like that. If Jason Kidd is the point guard, right? What is James Harden doing? James Harden has played he's playing one style of basketball.
Same thing he did next to Chris Paul. It's not new to him.
And that works when you have shooters on the outside. But when you have Kawhi...
It's Kawhi and Paul George. The shooting's fine.
No.
Now, this is a personal beef between y'all two right now.
No.
LA versus NYC. This is a setup. Let's go.
Again, we can go LA just because they don't have to hide Bob Cousy. But it's Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the other side. Like...
So if we took off Bob Cousy and put on Kemba Walker, would you pick NYC?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You just want to see more buckets.
There's not one person on this LA team that can consistently stay one-on-one with Kemba Walker.
Oh my God! Shut up.
God.
I'm sorry for telling the truth about Kemba Walker
LA.
and his handles.
We're going with Los Angeles.
All right. Next up, we got the DMV featuring Allen Iverson, Jerry West, KD, Moses Malone, and Alonzo Mourning versus New Jersey featuring Jalen Brunson, Kyrie, Karl Anthony Towns at the small forward position, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4, and Shaq at the 5.
And that is disgusting.
New Jersey was almost so good. Why did you have to put Cat at small forward? That is ridiculous.
Are there not?
That's who they got, bro. Those are the best names.
There's no small forward. Like actually,
There's no medium-sized guys. There's no medium-sized guys. There's the largest human beings you've ever seen or the smallest human beings on the court. No in between at all.
I'm going DMV. Their lineup actually makes sense.
Not a
You
wing.
don't think-
Nary a wing.
Really? I mean, I saw Cat stay in front of KD during the playoffs last year. Is that what's messing it all
You
up?
saw Cat stay in front of 2024 KD. You put 2013 KD out there, we're having a different conversation.
Cat's ankles are broken in front of
Listen.
2013 KD.
You put
got-
Jaren Jackson Jr. in front of Moses Malone?
Body bag.
Sternum? Ugh.
And Jaren
Crushed.
Jackson Jr., they do not believe in your defensive player of the year. Wow.
Do you know who
Moses
Moses
Malone
Malone was?
They don't know, Donovan.
They don't know. They don't understand.
They don't know a damn thing about the drop step.
They don't know nothing about grown man strength. These are children we're talking to. They don't understand what grown man strength is. You
Listen,
don't know
it's
about Moses
2024.
Malone.
You keep that shit on the field. Keep that shit back in like the 60s, bro.
You don't understand. It's okay. One day you'll get it. One day you'll get it.
Shout out
All
to
right.
DMV. Victory. Another victory for phone posits.
Shout out Wale.
Phone passes. All right. Next up, we got Pennsylvania versus Ohio. So Pennsylvania got Pistol Pete, Rip Hamilton, Kobe, Mikal Bridges, and Wilt Chamberlain.
Hey, Pennsylvania
versus Ohio
nice.
and Steph
There
Curry,
is-
CJ McCollum, Don Havlicek, LeBron, and Nate Thurman.
Like Ohio
Mikal
wins.
Bridges.
Ohio wins, but hey, I didn't know Pennsylvania was like that though.
Pennsylvania got
They're pretty-
players.
Pennsylvania is like that, but there's also a polar bear in Arlington, Texas. Why is Mikal Bridges one of their top 5 players of all time?
Elite glue guy.
Bro.
Elite 3 and D
Yeah.
guy.
True. It's just crazy to see.
Yeah,
But honestly,
bro.
LeBron and Nate Thurman might be the most muscular duo I've ever seen. That's just first team all bicep.
First team all bicep is hilarious. Mikal Bridges is a
You
great
put
glue
LeBron
guy.
and Steph.
Yeah.
You put LeBron and Steph on the same team, it's pretty hard to beat them.
Exactly.
You don't believe in Wilt and Kobe and Pistol Pete? Rip Hamilton and Mikal Bridges are great, like tertiary fourth options.
I prefer you not to make me repeat myself, but I say again. Steph Curry and LeBron James on the same team, Mo.
It's fried. I'm trolling. Okay, there we go. Ohio wins.
With shooting too. Oh. LeBron 3 shooters, one of which is Steph Curry. Give me Ohio.
Yeah.
Shout out Ohio.
All right. Shout out to the production out over there in Ohio, man. All right, next up, we got Michigan featuring Magic Johnson, Devin Booker, George Gervin, Draymond, and Chris Webber versus South Carolina. They got Ja, Alex Inglis, Cash Money Middleton, KG at the 4, and Jermaine O'Neal at the 5.
South Carolina.
Hey, this is the hardest
good.
one yet.
South Carolina is very, very good. They don't really stand a chance against Michigan.
I thought that too, and then Kevin Garnett is that's
KG,
the part that's holding me up.
Alex English, bro. Yeah.
Oh wait, my bad. Oh wait, time out. I
don't know.
misread that. Kevin
Yeah.
Garnett,
Michigan's insane,
and
but
Jermaine
Kevin
O'Neal?
Garnett makes you pause.
It's kind of disgusting.
Oh my god, you see Jermaine O'Neal and you just fucking
disgusting.
heart
You start
emojis all over the
drooling.
place.
It's kind of a problem. I just have to,
You have an involuntarily obsession with him.
might be an issue for Michigan.
I think Michigan.
medicated for your Jermaine O'Neal love.
Jermaine O'Neal lover. Ew.
Nah, I still think Michigan.
I'm going
wins.
Michigan.
I still think Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. The playmaking is absolutely absurd. 1 through 5, it's ridiculous. This is the best passing lineup of all time.
Yeah.
You
Although
did
South
two scores?
Carolina puts up a tough fight. South Carolina is tough.
Yeah, I mean, so Kevin Garnett and Draymond Green are hell in a cell. They're throwing elbows. Chairs are
This is a
flying. It's going to be
WWE
raw.
match.
Yeah. Fisticuffs. I'm going with the side that has Magic and Devin Booker with Chris Webber. That's just the team fits so well with Michigan.
Just goes
And you didn't even
touching
mention
the whole
the
time.
Midway through the third quarter, Draymond Green, sweet chin music. It's over.
From the top rope. Okay, Michigan it is. Next up, we got Illinois. Isaiah Thomas, D. Rose, D. Wade, AD, and George Mikan versus Texas, featuring Trey Young, Cade, Jimmy Butler, Chris Bosh, and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Hey man, Texas is
I'm
a
sorry. If
football
you have
state. they make
Clearly.
exactly. Listen, there's some solid people to come out of Texas, right? There's a lot of people in the state. I understand that. This is a football state. Illinois is killing them.
killing them. I'm sorry. Shout out Trey Young. Shout out Chris Bosh. Shout out LaMarcus Aldridge. If you have all three of them on the court at one time, your defense is cooked against AD and George Mikan.
Yeah, no.
With D Rose and D Wade attacking you downhill, oh my god.
Yeah,
They better call up some linebackers from UT. We better get some reinforcements.
That's their only hope. That's their only hope, bro. I
They
understand.
better put Arch Manning at point guard. They're cooked.
Arch Manning. You don't think D Wade and Isaiah Thomas and D Rose is too small defensively?
They are catching lobs all day. Like there is nothing that Texas can do to stop this lineup.
When we want to get frisky, we'll bench George Mikan, put in Modest Buzelis.
Okay. That's crazy. LaMarcus Aldridge, we cannot sit here and take this. Put on the tape.
Nah,
Oh
listen,
my God.
shout out Modest. relax.
He gonna make his way on there soon, but
Relax.
goddamn. And I think that's
Can't
the
even say it with a
last
straight face.
one.
This is fun. Yeah,
that was
Texas.
fun.
I mean, Texas is good. I mean, we might have downplayed it. Jimmy Butler's gonna be defending for his life.
The playmaking though is phenomenal. I mean, but as soon as you talk about defense, then it's pretty much clipped.
Yeah, I wish Chris Bosh and LaMarcus weren't together. I love them both individually. Together, it's not fantastic.
Also, switch that.
Yeah.
Put Chris Bosh at the 5. Put LaMarcus at the 4.
It doesn't matter. They're
Whatever.
both fried.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, whatever.
but
It sounds better.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's the end of TikTok time today. If people are still here, Donovan, what should they comment?
comment March Madness.
We'll
and
miss
chicken.
Nikhil. Oh, we'll miss
Oh, yeah,
Nikhil,
too. Oh, yeah.
man.
Comment long live Nikhil.
Nikhil. Rip
Gone but
Nikhil.
never forgotten. Nikhil,
Damn.
gone but never forgotten.
Free Nikhil.